Good evening, race fans, and welcome to the finale for Season 22 of the Octane Online Racing Thermaltake Sprint Series. We find ourselves at one of the most infamous tracks in sim racing. It's Monza. My name is Blake Griffiths, and I'm joined tonight by the Zach Attack, Zach Jensen. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. Keen for the Templar speed. Always never ceases to fail with turn one chaos.
It's unbelievable. You could be as careful as you like, but it's just so easy to get it wrong. And when one person gets it wrong, a lot of people are going to end up wrong. But here we are just sort of underway now on our first hot lap. So these ones are just going to be, we're just banking them in right now as we're on board with Lele and the number 8 car. Split Yellow promises to delight tonight, as we do have pretty much every position on the podiums in the classes to play for. I know up the top of our pro class we have Johnson, who's sitting relatively pretty, but it's not totally safe. A good 58 points ahead of Jamie Comboy, who's only a handful of points up from Josh Vediger, who's only another handful of points up from Vintner. In our silver class, Kong is holding off Raupi by a mere 6 points, and Rondonella is about 30 behind them. So that's still definitely to play for. And the Pro-Am class has, I think, 30 points between the top 4. So it's all really important tonight. You cannot make any mistakes here, as we do say Lele setting the best benchmark right now with a 47.3 or 47.4, I would round up, much to some racers' chagrin. Comboy 8/10 behind there, so it's a really nice banker there from Lele.
Yeah, no, absolutely. As Johnson just puts in a 47.2 right afterwards.
Whoa, it's scorching. It's scorching. So, from memory, I'm going to double check this before someone jumps down my throat. I think the max speed, fastest you can do is a 45.7, like a high 45. So we are a little bit off that, but I'm not sure we'll see it. Monza is such a difficult track to get that time. If you want to touch on that for me, Zach.
I think you could probably get to that if maybe the track was like 10 degrees. But I don't think we're going to get that with, I think it's like, 20-degree track temp or 20-degree air temp?
Yeah, I think it's ambient about 21, as it is 21. But yeah, this track is only 10, 11 corners off the top of my head, and every single one, if you mess any of them up, you're losing about half a second at least, which is, it's kind of absurd. So you really just have to be on it, even though it looks simple, but I think it's a lot more difficult than it is potentially given credit for at times if you're really trying to extract absolutely everything. Lele only able to go 1/10 quicker. Buskovus actually right now up at the top with a 47.13, so very nice there. As we do see Johnson pulling over for the moment, putting new boots on. I would say we're about halfway through qualifying here. Lele looking to do the same. As we on board now with Vediger in a 999 Coke Zero Ford Mustang. This is Josh Vediger. We do have 2 Vedigers in this split that I did mess up last week, and I do apologize for that. But we're just having a little bit of a replay of this Castrol McLaren. Very lovely car. Just getting it a little bit wrong through Escari there. That little hump is very tricky, and I think the McLaren is not really the machinery that I want to be going across that. Some cars a lot better than others.
Yeah, no, I think he actually had gotten through it, but he either went too far over it and just disqualified the lap, or he was shot out wide and at it. But I think he was up 3/10. As we see Vediger here, he's up 3/10. This could put him front row at the moment.
Yeah, it's looking pretty tasty. He's just got to navigate Curva Parabolica. Another deceptive one. I think at times you want to just send it through with so much speed, but sometimes the faster you send it in, well, I'd say most of the time the faster you send it in, the worse you come out the other side. It's 2/10 better, so the position maintains for the moment. Breno in the chat just saying a low to mid 46 he thinks is going to be the best we see. So we'll see how that plays out, Breno.
Yeah, no, I think he might be right with that. As we see Buskovich up 2/10 on his own time. This could be your first shot at a 46 tonight.
Yeah, well, if Breno's to be believed, there's still about 5/10 to be found, as we have about 2 more laps to go. And look at that track map. We've got a really nice turnout tonight. I reckon we're in the 30s.
Yeah, no, we very nearly could. Yeah, 38.
Nice, 38. Oof, that's going to be a big car park into T1. Do see Buskovich just putting that down with the fastest time, but it's not a 46 just yet. I believe that was Clark just getting out of the way pretty nicely for him, even though he does not have to.
Yeah, as we see Vettel coming into Escari, up 2/10, so he's got a good entry. Get a good exit to keep it going. He's about even, so he's still up 2/10.
But it's creeping down ever so slowly. He's already lost half a tenth as he comes into the last corner. And it's just that you see that when you get it just wrong, and it feels like poison, where it's just ticking away. But it's a pretty good curva parabolica there, and it's going to be 3/10, and that is going to be good enough for pole if Vettel can complete this one, and he does, and that is our first 46, just getting the foot in the door there. Very nicely done for Vettel.
Absolutely, and that's our first foray into the 46. As we see Johnson through Telleroggia, hasn't quite got his time settled yet. So we'll see how he goes.
And he's 2/10 off right now. I don't believe this one is valid. He's got a blue flag on the dash. Just jumping down a little bit, Layla Bell. I do think this might be Layla's first outing this season, just showing up for the last one. Pretty good right now, though, especially rocking that Pro-Am badge this season, but currently firmly within the top 10. A little bit of time to potentially even find herself in the top 5. We just jump on board with Vintner, and that's the broadcaster's curse. He's pulled over. I don't know if he's going to have another go with how much time is left. Also, big shout out to Ben Hignett on the cameras. As always, Ben being our stalwart champion of broadcast this season. So big thank you to Ben.
Absolutely. As we get Rondinella sitting himself, he's now P4, so he's made that. He's got that position while we were busy with some of the other drivers. He's up 2.5 on his own time. That could put him. That's close to the top grid again.
Wowee, Rondinella putting in that practice. He's been free balling. This man's been free balling. Just confirming as well, this is Layla Bell's first race of the season, which is kind of funny. But here we go, McLaren through Escari. A little bit of those inside bumps, a little bit of that one. It's not super great, but it's maintaining the time right now. It's going to be good enough on the podium, but we shall see. There's one more corner to navigate for the skill issue. McLaren, he throws it in. It's a long corner. You got to wait to get onto that power, and he's getting it through the middle of the track, but it's not quite it, and the time is falling away. And it's not even going to be another position for Rondinella. That is painful, but he's got one more bite at the apple if he so desires.
Yeah, it looks like he kicked it into to Parabolica a little too fast, and it just washed off too much speed.
It's so easy to do.
Lele 2/10, slowly dropping. That's
again, Parabolica throws it in. We watch with bated breath. It looks pretty alright. He's getting a little bit wide, tucks it back in. The time is there for Lele. This is going to be so close to pole potentially for Eshan Lele. Oh, it's 10. So what is that? 1/100th of a second behind Vettel. That is a heartbreaker for sure. Johnson going to come across the line very, very steady. Luke Johnson within exactly the same time as his previous, so it's P4 for Johnson at the very best. Buskovich coming around the last corner. It's 2.5 tenths up, but I'm not sure. This might be valid, this might not. We could be seeing tricks, and it is valid. And Boscovitz with that 46.8. So Breno's prediction is pretty close. We'll pay that for Breno.
Yeah, no, absolutely astounding as we get Lele is nearly about 10.5 ahead of his lap time, which could put him close to it.
Ooh, yeah. Kong getting in the mix here, going to come across the line, 2.5 tenths. That's going to put him up quite a few positions right here, and that's P6 for Brian Kong. That's pretty nice, just below Jaden Rondinello, though, who's someone he's definitely in direct competition with for the overall championship. Sorry, for the season championship for silver. Do jump on back on board with Lele coming into Escari, and we've lost that time, unfortunately. He's going to need to find 1/100th of a second, though, if he wants to leapfrog Vediga and get on that front row.
Yeah, absolutely. He's just holding on to it. So it all comes down to his final corner.
Yeah, we'll see if there's a bit of time here or not. Oh, that looks a bit fast to me, and that's invalid. And it's a little bit of disappointment there. Just see McDowell parked up in the middle of the track, and that's gonna pretty much do it. We do have Vintner coming across the line now. I don't know if that was any position there for Vintner. A little bit of a quiet qualifying there for Vintner, actually, for someone who is contesting at the very, very top. So he's going to have a bit of work to do here.
Absolutely. As we get our absolutely fantastic grid walk that Benny Hignett does every week. With Boscovitz P1 and Jay Vediga P2. Both of them with great laps.
Come on, don't stop now. Keep going.
Just letting the camera catch up. Lele P3, Johnson P4. Rondinella P5, top of the silver class, as we have a silver class line. 5th and 6th with Rondinella and Kong. Layla Bell clear ahead for the Pro-Ams this time around in P7. Benny Vintner P8. As you said, he does have some work ahead of him to get back up. Wesley Yao P9, and is that Ryan King?
I believe so. Yes, you are correct.
To round out the top 10.
That's it. There we go. So, did you say a 38 car grid?
I did.
Holy moly, split yellow. Not disappointing tonight. I've got 39 on the attendance sheet. Someone didn't quite make it out here, but that's a very large grid for this track. So let's talk Monza. Zach, how do you feel about Monza?
Personally, I don't mind the track. I do like its, I guess you could call it simplicity and its speed. However, as you've said, you get a turn wrong, you could lose half a second over a lap, or even a quarter sector.
Yeah, I think I feel a bit back and forth on it. It does feel like it is a little bit simple, but yeah, like you really do have to get it right. I feel like it has some pretty good overtaking opportunities, but I do feel like navigating T1, even like into the race, can be problematic at the best of times. So, hey, is that Jamie Conboy like way down there in 20th? It is Jamie Conboy. I'm sorry, mate. I had to call that as it is. That's a stinker when you're competing for the championship. All the way down there. So Conboy with a lot of work to do if he wants to try and stand on that top step. Not sure what happened there. We didn't get much vision of JC throughout that qualifying. Maybe he just wasn't able to find the space with those 38 cars out there tonight.
Yeah, no, even with the speed that these cars are going, Monza is only so much of a track, and 38 cars is a lot of space.
Yeah, definitely. It's something that would have been a little bit difficult to manage. It's nothing worse than getting a bit caught out in qualifying, as we do have the front of our grid is now getting underway.
Is that Brad Cook that I see near the back of the field?
I believe he's in that Honda, right? So yeah, he also is not even on our leaderboard that we can currently see right now. So that's also not great. I mean, look, there is something to be said for starting near the back. I'm not sure what these guys are feeling. I mean, if you're JC being like 20th, that is like literally the middle of the pack. I would be thinking about maybe pulling into the pits instead. It's an option. I will say in a free-fall race earlier this week, I did give JC the old nudge up the backside into T1 on a start. I felt pretty bad about that. I think he immediately quit, and I was like, oh. That's also Chris Taylor down there too. So that's two of our finer operators quite a ways down. Connor Hines also down there. That is second to last. So maybe I'd say second to last. You're probably not even setting a time. So I think that's on purpose.
Yeah. I will say that surprisingly, no one took the pit lane start.
But you could still drive into the pits, right? Like from the start widget?
Not particularly. It kind of holds you there until... It holds you at the pit entry until you... until it's like a sector, I think, and it opens the pit lane.
Oh, okay. I believe that's Josh Holmes just shouting out in chat. Taylor, Cook and Hind did not qualify as they didn't want to get in the way of the championship battle. Valid.
But that's the fun of it.
I don't know. I think I see it both ways because it's kind of. I think if you're not really in it, I can see it. I think a lot of those guys have mates. So I believe Ben Hignett was saying this would be Luke Johnson's first championship here, which so probably means a lot, or maybe he doesn't care. But I assume he probably does care a little bit.
That's understandable.
Just before we get all the way underway, it is a 60-minute race tonight with one stop, 4 tyres required. So a little bit of strategy to play. It does mean you can go pretty hard, scrub those tyres as much as you want. But there is something to think about here. So we round our final corner. Any predictions, Zach?
I think, I reckon Luke D will be in the top 5.
He's already, okay. He's yeah, all right. That would be interesting. I'm on the Kong train as we do get underway. Got a little bit distracted there. It's not a great start for Vedica, actually, with Johnson looking around the outside. Lele, though, boxed in, cannot go anywhere. Johnson's going to pull alongside Vedica here as we do get into the braking zone. There's already death at the back, and we aren't in the braking zone yet. What is happening? But Johnson, really, really good start there, and that's already P2. That's just what you need. Back at the back there, it's looking all right. Not too much carnage into the actual turn. There was someone turned around back there. It's not the worst I've ever seen. The 175 car there looking like the biggest loser, but up the front still Vedica with Rondinella alongside as we come into the second chicane, and there is a bit of a tap. I don't think there was quite enough space left there. Oh. There's a car around. That's King is around. Someone has to go all the way around on the sand. So we do see Ryan Anderson back there also mounting that sausage curb. A little bit of trouble there into the second chicane, probably more so than the first chicane. Wowee.
Yeah, it does appear that it was actually Vedica that got spun around before the turn 1. And aside from that, we've had apart from a couple of chaotic moments, we've had a relatively clean lap 1.
That's rough going there for Vedica, because that wasn't a particularly stellar qualifying either, so really going to be working hard for that. Just on board with Layla Bell. I think she's down a position. I should have taken a picture of the... No, she's up. Is she up?
No, she's down 2.
Down 2, okay. I should have taken a picture of the standings. So we are coming around Parabolica for the first time of many. Right now, we do have No, that's fine. It's all fine. Don't worry about it. But Baskovas still leads the way. Johnson moving up to P2, Lele P3, and Vedica P4. As you do see Vintana getting a good exit there out of the final corner, and he's going to have the inside here on Kong. And I think that looks like it's going to be done. He's already put the car ahead before the corner's even finished. So nice move there from Vintana.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well done. Yeah, as we see, there's a couple of cars in the pits early.
Yeah, interesting. First lap.
Yellow slow car at turn 1.
I've had lap 2 death, potentially. We might get eyes on that in a minute. We do see, so Cook just getting, pardon me, excuse me. There was a car a little bit wide there. Was that Frostock, the KFC Mustang? Just kind of letting Cook through.
Yeah,
you know,
slow.
I'm not sure why. I mean, Cook. That means Cook is up quite a few positions considering they start at the back. Same with Connor Hines here. That's already about 7 or 8 positions. So these guys making big money moves already. As we navigate Escari along with the number 6 Ferrari of Brian Kong. A really fantastic season for Kong here. He's looking to close out this silver campaign of his right now. I do think he's got a little bit over Jaden Rondinella, but they do not pay me to do the mathematics here at Octane Online Racing, so I cannot tell you where they need to finish. We have a lot of racing ahead of us still. Raupi also in that mix, absolutely though. Kong would absolutely need to finish ahead of Raupi and vice versa, potentially for that championship. So this fight is one to look out for.
Yeah, I was about to say, either of these two, or Kong just needs to finish ahead of Raupi, but Raupi needs to finish 2 spots ahead, as we see Vintana miss his brake marker, and he's had to go through the runoff.
Yeah, nicely done just to avoid rear-ending Rondinella really badly there. He's done the runoff, he's done the swerving to the best of his ability and kind of appeared back where he was. No harm, no foul, but Kong does have that overspeed. He's going to use that to his advantage and duck down the inside here right now. They are going to be side by side into the second chicane. It's looking alright. Kong there getting ahead and then a little bit of help along the way from Vintana. I do believe... I'm not sure. That's tricky because rules is written now. You do have to leave space all the way through the chicane this season. So I'm not sure about that one. So we look on board with Vintana here. Oh, that's very late. That's so late. That's like 125. Oi, oi, oi. That was never getting pulled up.
Not a chance. Yeah, I think... I'm wondering whether Raupi might have given a bit of a nudge to Vintana, which gave Kong the bump as well.
Yeah, potentially. Through the second chicane there.
We've also see that Lukey Johnson's back ahead of Baskovas.
Well, hey, Lukey Johnson, nicely done, mate. He's in control of this one now. The fate is in his hands for this championship. Baskovas actually not quite in this championship fight either, so... I mean, obviously you want to win. I don't know. I'm not even sure what the point I'm making there is, but Johnson now at P1. So gonna get a bit of a replay of that overtake in a moment too, which should be good. So that's one of our. Well, we'll come back to that in a moment as we do see this replay. This is Lesbos 2. I believe just a bit of a poor exit there for Baskovas, and that opens the door for Johnson. And he's just going to have that speed, but does he get it done before Escari? And yes, he does. He's just pulled in front, so nice and easy there for Johnson, just capitalizing on Baskovas' mistake.
Bit of a slide. Baskovas did well to keep, which was good, but has dropped him back in position.
And now he's in the clutches of Lele right now as well, so he's having to look forward and backwards, but he's using all the track and a little bit more. That was a bit of lawn mowing on both of the Lesbos corners there. But yeah, we just did see one of our Smokestack or Thunderstack, I'm not sure what name they're running under this season. It's one of our Cook or Taylor's just one of the cars that pitted early there, because they were blue flagged to some of our higher runners here already, which is interesting.
I think we're going to be looking to a replay of lap 1 here. Chaos that unfolded at turn 1.
Yeah, here we go. So this is Vetiga, I believe, one of the Vetigas. We do see... Ooh. That car just disappeared behind those trees. Oh, there's even more though.
Yeah, it looked like an Audi had gotten into the back of, I think it's a Preciado in the Valvoline Mustang, which then sets off a bit of a chain reaction behind as people check up.
Yeah, it's rough. It's just, I don't know. I think it was an okay, okay T1 Monza. Like, it wasn't great. It wasn't horrendous. So. But these top three right now actually getting quite a ways away from Vetiga. It's a McLaren. If there was a constructors championship, McLaren would be feeling really good right now with 3 cars on the top 3 steps. As we just looking back here again. Oh, that's the missile! Oh my God! How did they avoid all of that? That is incredible. A feat of not great and then amazing driving just to navigate that mess. Oy, oy, oy.
No, I think he sort of, as we see, Charitos trying to make this 3 wide between the AM leader of Clark and JC as well. Not this Clark sort of just thinks better of it.
Clark just doesn't want anything of it, but loses his position to Stockton in the process. I think, I mean, it's definitely understandable. I don't really know. I don't think anything good would have come going 3 wide through Escari there, but losing out a fair bit there.
As Luke Johnson puts in the fastest lap of the race.
Yeah,
second behind.
JC as well, storming through the pack right now. That's 9 positions already. So getting in amongst it. This campaign, I mean, it's hard to see potentially JC winning this race and winning the competition from here, but there is still 50 minutes to go, and you never know what happens at this place.
Absolutely. Just sort of been trying to go through the numbers of where people would need to finish ahead of.
Yeah, I heard they pay you to do the maths at Octane. Not me.
They pay for this?
Yeah, but it's in Monsters. But not white ones.
Replay here.
What? Just Bus give us a little bit checked up as they sort of had a look there at Johnson and Lele just coming in with a lot of speed. I do think it looked like Lele has a little bit of pace over Buskovus right now, but not quite finding the appropriate time to make that move. As we do have, these guys are coming up on a single lone car, the number 21. They'll be upon them relatively soon. We also have a few people opting to pit 10 minutes in the race as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably not one of the... It's probably one of the better tracks, I guess, because there's not a huge amount of, constant turning like you would get at the likes of Spa. So just get yourself into free air and off you get.
Yeah.
A lot of straight line and heavy braking.
Free air in a 38 car grid though is a luxury, as we do see that KSC Mustang just pulling on out of the line. Beaten right now, having a little bit of a look at Ryan Anderson, that McLaren loving this mid-speed corner. Oh, we've got a car turned around as well. They did well to avoid that. That's caused Beaton to check up a little bit here, and Anderson unscathed maintains that position for the moment. The 737 McLaren, that's Klopper, unfortunately still turned around, having to wait for that for the whole pack to go through. Convoy still battling here with Charitos. They're going all the way around the first. Does anyone call it that? Curva Biasono?
Curva Grande.
Yeah, that's what I thought. This track map is bogus. But Gyarados, in the meantime, actually getting by Convoy while I have my moment.
Yeah, no, the restrictor has definitely done its job for the Mustang, and it's no longer a straight line demon that it used to be.
I can't believe you brought the restrictor. I'm not putting you on the stream again.
Yeah,
No, I joke. It's interesting though, but people are saying it's a much better car. It's a better race car all over, and I do think it seems a bit more balanced at this point.
See the replay of
yeah.
Clopper. Whoop, bit of a snap oversteer, and it's kicked around again. So he's just done it on his own into Parabolica, and he's just lost so many spots half in the way.
Yeah, that's rough. Although I think he would have maintained grip if he had Thermaltake on that wing. Just saying.
Yeah, I think the boys needed to update deliveries. They must have missed that one.
JC, so that they're just getting by one of our blue flagged Mustangs. Ooh, he's got a lot of speed here on Choritos. Choritos looks to the inside. It's maybe a touch late. Not illegal, but maybe frowned upon. He's got a suboptimal line as they come through the first chicane. Bit of a slide there for Choritos. Is that going to invite this Mustang around Curva Grande? You know, in the past, Choritos is dipping a wheel as well. Convoy, are you gonna do it? No, he's decided to play it a little bit safe here, and Choritos lives to fight another day in P11.
Yeah, he's definitely. Well, Charitos definitely got a fight on his hands, and Stockton's not too far behind either.
I believe that's Scott Rockford in the chat asking how JC ended up down there. I'm not sure if he qualified very well. He's got, like, qualification, he was 20th. I'm not sure if that was on purpose or not. But yeah, he's doing well to make up these positions now. But yeah, having a bit of a fight here with Choritos. Stockton, though, is getting very, very close onto the back of him. So he's going to have to start looking forward and backwards. Big slam through the latter part of Escari, though, for Convoy just there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's looking... On a quick look at these points, Johnson is basically all but settled to... JC is going to need something absolutely devastating to happen to Luca Johnson. Yeah.
Is Vediga not in the picture?
Vediga is about 6 points behind JC, so he's going to need something a bit more worse than what JC needs.
Yeah, but Josh is in third right now. JC is still in 12th. So if Vediga finishes first and Johnson was finished third, would that be enough? Where are we? 64 points down from the lead. No, it's going to need to be like first and fifth or something, right?
First and sixth, and I think for JC to win, Johnson needs to be sixth, and for Vediga to win, he would need to finish first, and Johnson would need to be seventh or eighth.
Yeah, wow, okay. That makes it seem a lot less close than I played it out to be. Zach, why are you ruining my my good story with facts and logic and numbers?
Because the numbers don't lie.
They never do. They never do.
In terms of silver, as we've said, hang on. Raupi must have pit by the looks of it, as we get penalties starting to come in.
Yeah, so Appreciato getting a 10-second penalty for dangerous driving, I believe that was on lap 1. These two guys, Raupi must have pitted, because he was ahead of Kong, I think, at one point, or just behind. Rondadella is 45 points behind Kong currently, so I think he needs to finish a bit further up if he wants to win this championship. Ryan King just copping a penalty there as well. Didn't quite see that one.
Yep.
Beaten with a 10-second penalty for an unsafe rejoin on lap 2. So Stewart's firing from the hip right now. 3 quick penalties.
Yeah.
But Buskov is actually putting quite a bit of time on Lele. I would suggest that that's more mistake than outright pace, as it's only been about 8 minutes since we checked in with these guys. But Buskov is not quite done yet with Luke Johnson. It's going to make him work for it. Johnson still would win the championship, but Buskovus wants to sit on that top step of the podium for this one.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Buskovus is not letting this slip yet. As we see Kong still about half a second behind Luke at the moment. Catching quite nicely through Escari.
Oh,
Very
no, this
nicely
is on.
through Escari.
This is on. Rondinella doing a bit of play in the sandbox there. Hopefully that Ferrari has some legs and can giddy up as they get to the final corner, but not really. I would have expected them to be alongside. Kong gonna try and look to tuck it in. But yeah, Rondinella surviving that poor navigation through Escari this time.
Yeah, no, very much. Very lucky with that one, I think. As we see, as I saw, I think Ralphie's actually the car ahead of these two. So yeah, he had pit and he's sort of now in, I guess, air, just trying to keep his nose clean.
Kong pulls out It looked exciting, but there wasn't anything there whatsoever. But I tell you what, Vintner's now up in this mix too. About the same gap from Rondinella to Kong to Vintner. So this is a little bit spicy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Benny will just be licking his lips, just waiting to see these two make a mistake. As we see McDowell seems to have be slow at Parabolica. Oh, and like an RTG and goodbye.
Oh, McDowell throwing in the towel. You like that one, Zach?
Oh.
Hold on. Oh, Kong just like threatening the inside, but thinks better of it, pulls back out. More onto the racing line here, but he's actually put himself in a lot of danger from Vintner. Now that Kong moving across, Vintner's going to look down the inside, but has to tuck back in as they come through Escari. That was dangerously close and maybe a little bit cheeky there from Kong.
Nah, no touching. I think that's all play on. As we see,
Our leaders. Oh, Buskovus just getting a look down the inside. A bit of an average parabolica there for Johnson. They're going to be side by side as they run down the pit straight, and they're going to fight it out as they get into T1. There is a few blue flags ahead, though. This could be a little bit spicy. There's two McLarens side by side into the braking zone. Who's got the cojones to do it as they're coming up on Miller as well? Buskovus on the inside, turns into the outside. Get on the power, a little touch there. I actually think Buskovus is going to come out on top here. So Buskovus back on top. Well done.
The way that Lukey's fighting, you'd think he's only got 2 points in it for the championship.
Oh, but you want to finish. You want to finish on the top to seal it all off.
Always.
Put a pretty bow on it. Don't think it's not quite a grand slam for Johnson, is it? No, he started P4. It was a really great start for Johnson, but it's a valiant effort thus far. Lele back onto the back of these guys, though. It's definitely not 8 tenths right now. It's looking a lot more like about 2.
Yep, this is that, and then Joshua Vedica just a little bit out of touch of the 3 of them.
Vedica is going to be looking pretty nice to potentially move up to P2 in the overall championship if he can just maintain this. But you always want more. You always want more.
You always want more.
Just jumping back down to Brian Kong, this little battle we've got here, the battle for the top of the silver class. It's still with hold said thus far. Rondinella still holding off Kong. Vintner actually falling off the back of them a little bit here. And a bit further down as well, we've still got Charitos, Convoy, and no, Stockton's actually fallen off the back of Convoy too. Yeah, here we are. We get vision on these guys as they come into the first chicane. And Clark actually, though, Stockton falling back has put what's a little bit of hip and shoulder between friends. Taylor and Hind coming together there as well. That's oh my god, words. I feel like their third teammate was behind them too, but I didn't see them on the standings, and I don't remember them. Or ahead of them. Sorry, the other Honda.
Yeah, I was gonna say Brad Cook hasn't picked.
Right, but they're not. Okay, then that's why they're not. Thank you, Ben. You just saved me from my brain fart there. So those guys probably just having a fun little time down the back, racing their own race.
Daryl Lim looks like he got ahead of Pasca.
Ooh. So Pasca as well looking really good right now to lock out that Pro-Am championship, because Layla Bell's not in that picture whatsoever. And the next fighter would be Ashley Vediger,
who looks like no, they're still running.
I think they might have pitted. I remember seeing them a little bit further up.
But they were also the lap one spin, so they're sort of on a very big recovery.
And Steve Lewis and Ryan Anderson, the next competitors, and they're close, but they're a little bit further down. Pascal Armstrong just needs to bring this one home, and that's Pro-Am Championship in the bag.
Absolutely. The real interesting one is going to be Silver after Kong pits to see where he comes out.
Yeah, for sure.
Because obviously it's Kong P1, Loopty P3, who's ahead of him, and then ahead of the two of them on track is Ralphie, who's in P2 and has pit.
Yeah, so Ralphie opting for a really, really big undercut. Maybe just wanting to get out of all this kerfuffle and just try and lap in relative clean air. Gareth Raupe is the number 12, if you can get your magnifying glasses out to find him on the track. Steve Lewis, though, actually copping a penalty there. 15 seconds, so that's put a big dent in his potential Pro-Am Championship aspirations. John Charitos as well with a 15-second penalty for a lap 5 collision. Do you see Pascal Armstrong getting alongside Daryl Lim in that Nissan into Escari, and it's going to be ahead before the first corner finishes. So nice move there for Pascal Armstrong to retake that position back.
And this has invited Charitos, who's actually dropped Convoy a little bit.
Yeah, JC just not quite got it right now for this one. Maybe Monza is not his forte. Maybe those tyres feeling a little bit average right now. But Charitos actually a bit of a bad run there for Lim, and Charitos, it's invited the door open for Charitos, as they're gonna definitely be side by side as they come into T1. There's way too much time between the last corner and the first corner. But, oh no. Do not do 3 wide into T1. Oh, wow. Pascal Armstrong just getting ahead a little bit there to avoid absolute heartbreak for Lim, and he just gets tucked in behind with Charitos alongside as they come through. We are just going to get a little bit of a replay here of this Lim and Pascal Armstrong battle as they go down to Escari. So around the outside, hooks it around after a bit of an average run through Lesbos 1 for Lim. And it looks, yeah, no, all good. So Lim now fighting off Charitos. Charitos still carrying 15 seconds though, so he's going to have to make a big effort if he wants this one to stick to the end.
Yeah, no, it looked like Lim went on the defensive and Pascal just sort of went, all right, I'll take the outside with no issue. Charitos just Shows the nose. See if he can get him unsettled. Does look it. Too wide on the exit. Oh, there's your...
Huge hip and shoulder as they bounce across Escari, and it's just sent Lim very, very wide. He's avoided the wall, but that hurts to see. So Charitos just with a bit of overspeed, Lim getting a little bit deep there. Charitos just a lot of curb there, and it jumps the car and sends him out into the side of Daryl Lim.
Yeah, no, very unfortunate, but that's going to be another penalty swinging Charitos' way.
Yeah, it's it's tricky one there. It's not really where I want to be side by side whatsoever. Just jumping down to Raupi, so this is one of our guys to watch. So yes, confirmed, pit stop has been completed. That is actually the people he's fighting with, though, just not directly on track right this second. Rondinella and Kong. So these is our front runners for the Silver Championship right now, with Vintana in the mix just to make it a little bit spicier.
I'm wondering if something, maybe Ralphie might have had an average pit or just a bad lap, because I mean he's nearly what, a minute 50 behind after a pit stop.
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head what a pit stop take here. So it's 30 seconds for tires, and then I don't know if you want to bang on like 8 seconds in and out, like 8 in, 8 out.
You'd say about maybe like a 60-second pit stop type deal.
Yeah, so I do think that Raupi might have lost out a bit here, because obviously a lap around Monza is about a smidge under 1 minute 50. So I don't know if he's just had trouble, but the problem is as well is he is blue flagged to these guys, and so he's obviously been blue flagged for the guys ahead of these guys. You pit early and you run the risk of having to give away a bit of time each time you're blue flagging. While I was yammering, Vintana has gotten around Brian Kong.
Yeah, that's actually looked like quite a good move from Vintana there.
So Lupti is Rondinello, if you're not familiar. Lupti breathing a sigh of relief right now, his direct competition behind another car, so that's one more car that Kong is going to have to navigate if he wants to get around Lupti. We do see this is a replay of Raupi. I'm not sure exactly when this is, but it's going to tell us a little bit. So bit of a moment into Escari, just on the brakes a little bit late, swerves in to avoid anything, and then just too fast on the rejoin. Probably a little bit spicy on the rejoin as well, and that's put him in the sand trap. So yeah, that's probably where that time's gone.
Yeah, no, that's super unfortunate for him, because he was probably looking for a good fight with Kong too.
Yeah, it's not what you need. Whoa, a little bit squirrely there from Vintana through Escari. But yeah, I'd count Raupi out of that full fight for now, but there's still points on offer for sure. Meanwhile, no, people are pitting. I'm gonna say JC and PA. Oh no! Oh no! That's not good. Kong kind of kept driving as well, but I'm not sure where you go.
The question is, was it Vintana just losing the rear a little bit, or as we get a replay here?
So Kong moves to the inside here. Oh. I'm gonna let the stewards call that one.
The stewards can deal with that one.
Because that was like how long? Do you think they're alongside? It's a real touch and go there. The front axle to back axle, no.
Yeah, it was axle to axle, but it was a case of...
I think Vintana had started to turn in, no?
Yeah.
So
it's up to the stewards.
It's up to the stewards. We do actually have Johnson in the pits, Lele also in the pits, which is pretty important. Actually, we've got a lot of our top of the field in the pits. Pascal Armstrong, Conboy, Ryan Anderson. Baskovitz out? Question mark? Still out?
Yeah, but no, Buskovich had pit earlier. I think he pit the lap
Okay.
before. He's coming
Yeah,
down
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. Okay, great.
The two of them have jumped him? Question mark. The two of them have jumped him.
Lele, big winner there.
Lele and and Johnson have both come out a good few seconds ahead of Buskovich there.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of an average stop potentially for Buskovich, or just the outlaps weren't quite there. Yeah, he's also these Coke Mustangs are doing my head in.
That's Ashley in front of him.
Yeah, okay. And Ashley is no. So Ashley is
Lap down.
not in this fight. And then Josh is the one behind.
Right behind him.
Yes. Okay. All right. We got there. Oh, Pascal. No, Pascal Armstrong got a stop go 30 for a pit entry.
Oh, okay. That could throw some interesting aspects coming up.
Whoa, that's crazy. That is absolutely heartbreaking.
That is extremely unfortunate.
That's devastating. It's get your thesaurus out and look at every word. Oh, Alex, mate, I'm so sorry. We do have a bunch of our other runners in the pits, though. That's Rondinella. I think that's Lewis as well. Layla Bell a bit further ahead. Kongi in the pits. I mean, that's pretty much everyone. A lot of people opting for around about that mid-race pit stop here. That does put... Who is our Pro-Am front runner now? I think that it could be... We have to see where these guys come out.
Lewis comes out compared to Anderson.
Yeah.
Because at this point, that actually might put Anderson in the front row seat to win Pro-Am.
Now that would be a story. Big shout out to Ryan Anderson, one of our main stewards here at Octane. I think he's had a little bit of an up and down season, but it would be a good result here. John Stockton as well, copying a stop go 30. I presume that's for pit as well. Stockton was just outside of this battle, but still relatively in it if there was a seriously good result. So he's just been removed from the building, if you will.
We're just waiting for the timing trees to sort of
figure
out where everyone is.
Hurry up! Charitus not pitting yet either, actually, which is a little bit interesting. So he's currently on track P1. Oh, hit a spicy Escari there for Lele. Just getting a replay here. I think that's Appreciato on the right. I'm not sure who's on the left. Oh, yeah, just... it's a bit yuck.
That's a bit.
Not sure if all the room was left there, but I'll leave that one to the stewards. Where's the Yao copying a 15-second penalty for collision on that 5. So there's a lot of work still in the stewards box tonight. Neil Wood also copying a 10-second penalty for a rejoin in lap 4. So yeah, still quite a ways away from potentially seeing the outcome of some of these incidents we've seen earlier.
Yep. Looking at it, the way things have settled out, Anderson should at least jump Lewis and Vettiger. The question is he going to be far enough ahead to get past the points, get the points past Pascal Armstrong?
Yeah, that is the question. That's a lot too many mathematics for me, personally. So yeah, bro.
Oh, with a drive-through.
Holy moly, that is a really, really big whack. That's humongous. That's humongous.
Oh, that'd be the
That's the one
from the contact with Vintner.
Yeah, that's killed Brian Kong's game, and I actually think that Jaden Rondinella now is probably going to take out that Silver Class Championship for Split Yellow with how that's just shaken out. So
Very
Jaden
much could do.
pulling out, not that he wasn't there at all, but pulling out a little bit of a Stephen Bradbury after everything's said and done. Jumping back up the top of the leaderboard, Luke Johnson now provisionally and on track will be our leader, 1.2 seconds ahead of Lele, who's had a really good little bit strategy situation, jumped up above Buskovus and Vedegar in that pit stop. Jumping back down a little bit here, Clark in the number 4 Aston Martin having a really nice race here, well up the field for an AM class car. I know Clark's had some good pace in the past, but maybe not the consistency to put it together. But that's a Pro-Am badge next year. If you're 12th in an Octane 38 car grid, you're doing something right.
Oh, absolutely. As I think we see it as well. Vedegar got ahead of Buskovus.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, there we go. That Coca-Cola Mustang now ahead of Buskovus. Just looking back down here, Brad Cook looking to make a bit of a move here on Clark into the second chicane, but it's not quite there just yet. Cook's made up a lot of positions actually, considering he started all the way down there. All the way down the bottom on purpose.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the racecraft and experience that coming to the front there, keeping your nose clean and being able to drive as fast as Cook can.
Yeah, for sure. Lim in the background as well. Cook got a little bit of speed here. Not going to be quite enough coming into Escari. I would not want to be in the cockpit of that Honda, though, coming through some of these bumps. That car is unwieldy at the best of times. He's got a much better run through Escari, though, I think, than Clark, and might be able to have a look at the end of this straight. He's showing in the mirror. Is he going to be able to brake a little bit later? Not quite. Thinks a bit better of it. Tucks back in under Clark's wing. Getting a little bit wide. Probably a bit early on the power there.
Yeah, as we see as well, just quietly, JC from P20 is now P8.
Very true. Very true. It's funny. I was like, oh, JC P8. Oh, but he's just pitted. But like, that actually did end up coming to fruition. So pretty nice recovery drive. Cook having a look down the inside here, keeping Clark honest, but yeah, not quite going to be there all the way around the second part of the chicane. Very close, but a little bit of a replay here. We've got Bell and I forget that golden Porsche. We've got, is this going to be Porsche on Porsche crimes? Not quite. Lim getting side by side, leaving that Porsche in the dust. Oh no! Bit of a billiards effect there. One car into the back of another. It causes the front car to spin around. That is rough going.
It is unfortunate indeed. Quick points update. With positions as they are, if they were to finish like this, Lupti and Kong would finish equal on points.
No way. We're going to have to make them do something absurd to decide the Silver Championship. I can't... Message in the chat, what do you think that Lupti and Kong should do? Are they really going to be even?
Dead even.
Wow. Okay. I mean, there's still 20 minutes, though. That's a lot of time. Buskovus... Oh, sorry, go ahead, Zach.
I was going to say, and Kong should have a couple of spots he can look at as well.
Yeah, I mean, Kong obviously he's got quite a bit of pace. I'd say he should at least be able to get by a couple more cars. So it's not quite over just yet. That is the tamest thing that they could do to resolve this championship. Number one in the chat saying paper scissors rock, which isn't even the right rail round. Sorry, number one. So to get a bit of a replay here, I think this is potentially Perkins looking at this livery. I'm going to set off the start line. getting a great jump there on JC. Is JC got a bad jump, or has Perkins got too good of a jump here? But I don't think that's actually what we're on board for. We're just going to get some of this carnage. Hold your breath. No carnage? Question mark?
No,
is the carnage behind?
I think it was just the JC sort of Mustang slow launch. Lele goes a bit wide at Parabolica.
Hey, this is a NASCAR, Lele. Get that thing back on the track. Yeah, so you do see Ryan Anderson fending off Kong. So Ryan Anderson looking decent to potentially win this Pro-Am championship. With Kong, who's trying to claw back that silver championship right now. I hope they keep it nice and clean here, though.
Yeah, so far so good. Trying to, I'm not sure where Pascal Armstrong's come out. As Kong gets a bit of a run.
Yeah, it's a better run there through Escari. They're going to be side by side, I think, as they come into Parabolica. Kong with the ideal line potentially. Don't do it again to be Kong, though. Oh, a little bit outside and a lot of oversteer for Ryan Anderson. Kong's going to get sail on through easy as you like there.
Yeah, that's sort of... Yeah, that was as simple as you like.
Yeah, I mean,
Kong's probably going to just push his wife away.
Although, what? Anderson's got a lot of overspeed here. He's not letting this one go quietly. So they're going to be side by side into T1. Has the inside for the second part. Who has the better drive out of this corner? Ryan Anderson's going to go the long way around Curva Grande. And they're going to probably be side by side into T2 as well. Sorry, into the second chicane.
I'm wondering if Kong's running higher wing.
Could be. Was Kong... I mean, Kong potentially has damage as well after the incident with Vintner earlier. But they come out still side by side as they go through Lesbos 1, and I'm not even going to call it yet. They're side by side still into Lesbos 2. Anderson all the way out on that AstroTurf, and they're still side by side. It's not over. Is someone going to yield before they get to Escari? Or are they going to do something foolhardy, something dangerous? It looks like they are. Anderson over the curbs. Kong now over the curbs on the inside. Anderson, please. Oh, they keep it clean, and Anderson has to... I don't know if has to is the right word, but eventually ends up behind Kong. And that was about half a lap of door-to-door racing there for Kong and Anderson.
You know, that was absolutely brilliant driving from the both of them.
That was literally, that was every corner bar the last corner. They just did side by side, essentially.
Yeah, no, pretty much turn 1 to turn... Well, halfway down turn 10, I guess.
Yeah, wow. No, look, Anderson's got that pace on the straight still on Kong, so I think they might go back and forth with this for a little while.
I reckon, but I think now that Kong's got enough of a gap, I think that might be paid to that position.
Yeah, potentially. Just jumping back down a little bit here with Kieran Reed in one of the very few Audis, I think maybe the only Audi in the split. Got Neil Wood, I believe that is behind. Wood carrying a 10-second invoice right now, though, so not too worried if you're Reed. Just got to keep it firmly in front.
Lukey Johnson has put a gap to Lele as well.
Yeah, pretty nice gap there too.
He's prepping to cement that first place.
Yeah, firmly in the driver's seat of this one. Luke Johnson just has to keep it cool, keep it nice, and he'll bring this one home, hopefully. Fingers crossed and all that good stuff. Brad Cook actually still behind Clark. We did see these guys a handful of minutes ago. It looked like Cook had a lot of overspeed on Clark, but since we've been on board and watched a few other battles, it's not quite come to fruition for Cook yet.
Yeah, no, Cook's might just be giving Clark a bit of a we're waiting to just see how you go.
Oof. Taniyake with a drive through for causing a collision on lap 19. That's another very large whack. Don't think we saw that one, but must have been serious business.
Absolutely. It's looking like that.
I think we're going to get eyes on that one in a little minute. Just stay.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think we did see.
We saw this one.
Yeah, so just coming out of
Appreciato on the outside. Anyake breaks late to keep it along, and just a bit of a turnaround.
Yeah. I think fair play on that one. Oh, Clark, all the track and a little bit more, and I think that is going to invite Cook to get alongside into Escari. We'll see who comes out better for this one. Say break, turn, and Cook is already ahead. Clark maybe just not really wanting to go side by side all the way through there. Potentially wise, holds on to his grip and his life.
I was going to say, from the overtakes we've seen on Escari tonight, it's probably the smartest decision.
Yeah, I think sometimes you just have to live and let live a little bit. It's still P10 right now for Clark, which is a really huge result in such a big grid. Looking back down to the number 98 of Anderson, we've spent a little bit of time with Ryan thus far, but he's got Perkins hot on his tail right now, and I would say Perkins is probably catching, because they weren't in the picture so much when we were watching that battle with Kong. So we'll see these BMWs do battle as we come into nearly the last 10 minutes of this race.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Keeping an eye on things as we see Lee just on the back of Anderson. He's keeping very close through there. Pascal Armstrong should be far enough down the order that Anderson could theoretically win this, even if he loses another spot.
Where is Pascal Armstrong? They're not currently in our top 25, are they? Nick?
No, they're not.
So, 27th, behind Taylor and Hines.
Yeah, that's quite a few points.
Ben Curtis, one of our stewarding team, just giving a big cheer and sigh of relief in chat. Well, a big slide from Perkins through Lesbos too, but a big cheer as they're finally up to date on all the penalties and calls. So big shout out to the stewarding team. It's one of the great things about Octane, the live stewarding. It's very, very good. And if it's something you're interested as well, you should reach out. I believe Matt Powell is the one to speak to potentially about that. I'm sure they're always looking for more volunteers.
As we see anything happen out of Parabolica?
Ooh, a little bit of oversteer for Anderson. Perkins looking a little bit more planted, but both it's a bit of a tow rope on those guys, or it's a mirror image as they look very, very similar going through. It's not quite going to be what Perkins needs to get alongside into T1, so this battle is still still coming to a boil.
Yep, I think this is going to be the same thing for the next 9 minutes, unless one of them makes a mistake.
No, surely not. Something will happen. It'll be super exciting. We are just on board with Veselovsky and the number 23 Aston Martin with Chris Taylor behind in the other Honda in this race. Not quite as prolific positions gained for Taylor or Hind as their compatriot Brad Cook, but still pretty nice. That's still, I think, double-digit positions gained. It's looking pretty tight there. Taylor getting in the benefit of this slipstream. He's in the mirrors. He's looking for a little of a late move, but it's not going to be quite close enough. Tucks back in under the wing of Veselovsky. He's I think a little bit of a better exit there, and he's looking at the inside. It's not going to be quite there yet. Taylor gonna have to set something up a little bit nicer than that. But just jumping back with Anderson and Perkins. Perkins side by side on the inside into the final corner. Oh, long slide for Perkins there, but Ryan Anderson's gone very, very wide. Perkins currently holding onto that, but I think Anderson, even though he's gone wide, has gotten a better exit, better drive with that slide that Perkins had. They're going to be side by side as we do look to turn one. Perkins on the outside, Ryan Anderson on the inside, getting it pulled up. They're still side by side, a tiny bit of a squeeze, and there's contact. Perkins just washing out a little bit into the door of Anderson. Anderson survives this time around with a little bit of a gap there.
Yeah, no, and then now Lee's got to do all that work again to just get close and get past.
Yeah, indeed. Whoa, very late on the brakes there for Perkins, but not too deep, so maybe Anderson just a little bit early per se. Yeah, that was a little bit spicy. I think Perkins just not quite slowing up enough in the second part of that chicane to get it all the way turned in. Just looking on board there with King at this fight as it progresses.
What should we get on board with Daryl Lim with Charitos right behind him through Escari. Looks like they've had a pretty even exit.
Yeah, but come on, that Nissan, it's never given that up. Never, ever, but it is quite deep, and there's some Nissan things with two slides, and Charitos just drives on through. Oh, the Nissan.
Yeah, no, Nissan things, and Charitos with a very, very tight line through there as well, keep himself on the inside.
Yeah, but so this is also Nissan things. He's caught all the way back up, has a look at the inside, but doesn't try it wisely. Unfortunately for Charitos, that Nissan is an absolute missile. He's probably going to be fighting pretty hard to keep it behind him for the remainder of this race. Just checking in at the top, Luke Johnson still in the lead, fastest lap as well to his name, so a couple of extra points. Nearly 5 seconds ahead of Lele. Lele with a pretty comfortable lead on Vediga as well, and Buskovus, again, it's a bit of a comfortable lead for Vediga on Buskovus. Just a bit of a replay here. So this is Lim and Charitos as well. I'm not sure exactly when this was, but super duper deep there for Charitos, and Daryl Lim says, thank you very much.
I think that was just happening as we were going through the top five.
Yeah, I think as we just refreshed on our top five, that is what played out. So pretty standard broadcasting procedure, you know. Look away for 1 second, something happens.
Standard affair.
Yeah, standard operating procedure here. Just lovely on board. Oh, Perkins just not quite getting that first part of Escari right. Big slide, and that's put them well behind of Anderson now.
Well done to him as well for keeping it out of the wall. For that.
Yeah, it's very twitchy and it's quite a fast section of corners too. So well done to Perkins for that one. Anderson breathing a bit of a sigh of relief here. That pressure from Perkins has now dissipated. Lim breathing no sighs of relief as Charitos has already made up all that time that was lost in that adventure into the sand pit in the second chicane. Lim just not quite able to shake Charitos thus far.
Yeah, Charitos is not wanting to give up, not want to let that P11 go. He wants it back.
Yeah, no. definitely not. As they throw it around Lesbos 1. Charados with a great corner there, forcing Lim to defend the inside. Charados looking down the outside, and gosh, Lim is just struggling a little bit with traction on that Nissan. He's just sliding pretty much into the corner and out of the corner, so he's got a lot of work to do if he wants to keep Charados behind.
Yeah, as we were into the last 3 minutes of the race as well, we should be 2 more laps.
Yes, I do believe you would be correct. We do have Johnson heading into the second chicane now. Lim just getting a better run and in better machinery for a straight line than Charados, but I think we'll probably see Charados make up a bit of that time as they come through this corner again. I think it's a bit of an ebb and flow situation between these two. Charados eating up these corners right now, but that Nissan just has the absolute legs to gallop on down these long straights.
Yeah, and at the road as well, another good effort so far is Clark for P10 as an AM driver. That's a definite Pro-Am badge if I've ever seen it.
Oh, absolutely. Clark's been pretty good for a little while now, so I do think that Pro-Am badge is going to be well earned. I will say Layla Bell also doing quite well considering this is her first race for the season back, firmly in the top 10 with that Pro-Am sandbagging badge. She was silver last season. I see you, Layla. Lele still 4.5 seconds. I think he's gained a little bit back on Johnson, but it's not going to be nearly enough.
As we see Connor Hind going for a move onto Taylor. Taylor breaking later.
Yeah, not quite. Tucks it back in. Taylor survives this time. That is, interestingly, these guys started near the back as to not impede on this championship fight, and they find themselves right in front of Luke Johnson on the final lap of this race, potentially, but moving over really nicely there just as to not cause any funny business for, I believe, one of their mates. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, please.
As we see, Vediga now has caught up quite a bit to Lele, so he's sniffing a chance to take that P2.
Yeah, this was like 1.7 a little bit earlier. So Vedica, yeah, it's still on. I will say I was wrong a moment ago. Vedica's going to lose that position to Buskovus as well. Oh no!
Hardware failure?
No! Oh, that's absolutely heartbreaking. I would say yes, it looks like some kind of hardware failure for Vedica. That is absolutely rough. We are going to see this one. Yeah, just no turning input potentially. So far out. That
super
sucks.
Unfortunate.
That sucks. My heart goes out for Vedica.
As we round the final corner for the final time this season for Split Yellow, as Lukey Johnson convincingly takes the win and the championship. Massive result there for Luke Johnson. Yeah, absolutely commanding. Jumped a few positions early on. Had a little bit of a battle here and there with people, but just absolutely kept his cool, and it's paid off in a championship. Big slide there. Well done, Luke Johnson. Lele P2 and Buskovus P3. Just absolutely heartbreaking though for Vedica. I can't stop thinking about it. I'm so upset. Yeah. Zach, can you run through the rest of our results, please? Buskovus P3, Rondinella P4, Bell P5, taking out Pro-Am, the Pro-Am class for the race. Vintner P7, JC from P20 to Vintner P6, JC from P20 to P7. Vediga, unfortunate with that at the end there, drops to P8. Cook P9, Clark with the AM class win in P10. Charados staying ahead of Kong in P... No, hang on.
No, Charados got ahead of Lim and and Kong.
And Kong got ahead of Lim as well.
Oh, yeah, so Lim's had a moment that we didn't quite see, question mark?
I would assume. However, that does mean that Kong takes out Silver and Anderson has taken out Pro-Am.
So was that just enough for Kong to hold on to the silver class win?
From what I could see, with Vertigo having that hardware issue, that put Loopty up a position which made them even on points again. And then for Lim to have an issue like that, brought Kong up a spot, so he wins by about 5 points.
Wow, saved by the bell for Brian Kong. You hate to see it for Loopty, but it was a valiant effort there for Kong after a bit of two blunders actually. No, one blunder. They're thinking of someone else. But and did Ryan Anderson end up taking out a Pro-Am honors?
Where did he finish? 14th.
So Steve Lewis would have been the next.
Yes.
Hey, big congrats to Ryan Anderson there for taking out Pro-Am. It was mildly unlikely. He started off 4th in that battle tonight, but he's absolutely done a great drive and managed to pull that out. So, wow, what a finale to Split Yellow. Do you have a drive for the day there, Zach?
Well, I will probably have to give it to Ryan Anderson, keeping his nose clean and to be able to come from basically P4 in class to win championship is a job well done.
Yeah, it's a pretty massive effort. It's a good shout. I think I'm gonna. I don't want to Max Verstappen, Luke Johnson, so I'm gonna give it to Johnson. It was a really good drive, a really solid drive, fastest lap. After it was a fine qualifying, but probably not as good as he would have liked. So Luke Johnson, congrats, mate. I think that's his first, so a big result. I think we've probably done sufficient on the results, so we will kick it over to a small break here. In 5 minutes, it will be Split Green with Sean Muller and Tim Gobe. I will be racing, so make sure to cheer me on. We are just going to do housekeeping, and it's our Thermaltake, a prize wheel for that gaming mouse. I nearly won last week, so Ben, if you could fix it up a little bit this time to make sure that I win this week so we don't, avoid that embarrassment this time. But spin that wheel, please. I don't know. Does this have sound? Do I like tick,
Yeah,
tick, 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 tick? Okay, good stuff. Pete! Oh, it's not Pete!
No?
It's Ahmed Johnson. Congrats, Ahmed. That's a new mouse for you. Thanks, and courtesy of our sponsors at Thermaltake. So someone will be in contact with you shortly. Very nice. But thank you very much for watching, everyone. We'll be back in a handful of minutes. Thank you, Zach, for joining me in the booth tonight.
Thanks for having me, Blake, and that has been a brilliant Split Yellow.
Buonasera, everyone. Welcome back to Split Green in the, of course, the Thermaltake Sprint Series, live from the Autodromo di Monza, the Temple of Speed, or as I call it, good old six turn. I am Sean Muller, and joining me in the box is my one and only main man. It is the one and only Tim Goeb. Tim, hello.
Oh, wait, no, yes, hello. I thought my microphone wasn't picking up here. Hello, Sean, how are you?
I'm well. How are you? Are you well?
I'm all right. I'm very excited. It's the last round of the season. It's always an exciting one here.
Certainly is. It is Monza. It is known as Content Central. It's known as probably the most sweaty track in ACC by a mile. But it always provides something interesting to watch, and it's got more history than a 1987 set of Encyclopedia Britannicas. So I'm keen as mustard for this one. But we are, I believe, got qualifying underway at the moment. So yeah, we've got qualifying underway. So we've just got a tick under 10 minutes remaining there. Standard fare tonight. So a standard 60-minute race, one pit stop. So jump in, grab some tyres, grab some fuel, and send it at Monza.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. This track always brings a lot of content, including Turn 1 chaos. But let's hope Split Green here keeps it together as we're looking at our one and only Emerald name, currently out on his, I think his first flyer. I think they've already done their out lap, so he's currently on his first flyer. Although it does say he's been on this lap for 6 minutes, or about 7 minutes now. Yeah, that would not be flying at Monza. In fact, that'd probably be slower than the speed limit, but yeah, it should be good. It should be good. Followed close behind him is, I think, pretty much our Split Green winner, Glory Babby. Let's see what they can do in the big heavy Ford. I've been told it's not the greatest car around here anymore, but that could be the skill issue on my end. Talking as we're going to see Name set his first lap of the session, and it's going to be a 147.2 for Emerald Name for his first flyer. Closely followed behind by Glory Babby with a 147.4.
A 47.2 opening. Oh, Squirrels! Just popped in there with a 47.1 in the big bad Bentley. Wow, that's just come out of nowhere from the Monster Energy Bentley. One of the nicest looking cars on the grid as well. Good to see the big boat up there. Great lap.
After all these years being a GT3 car, technically retired, but not in ACC. We can still drive it here, and we can see that it's still got pace under that hood, that big V8 engine roaring down the straights. It's still a monster around here. I want to include a bit of Bob talk. It's got a lot of negative weight, but doesn't matter. He's still got the first fastest lap, but it's only our first flyers today. Let's see what else these drivers can do in these next 7 minutes.
And we're looking here at Damiano here on screen at the moment in the Porsche, and doing really nicely. He's about to set a fly here. I expect him to be up in that sort of top 10, top 5 positions. He's been very strong all season. Really impressive season from Damiano. And he will be, no doubt, heading off to Kyalami for the endurance race coming up, of course, in 2 weeks' time. So if you are keen and get stuck in and get involved, please have a look at all our socials as Damiano pops in the 7th there with a very nice lap as back here with our champion-elect Babby. What a season this man has had. He has really not been touched all season, let's be frankly honest. He's been really a class above, but he's going to have some competition tonight because Naeem and Squirrels look really quick, which is great to see. Mags is there as well. And our silver class champion-elect, of course, the one and only Truffatelli, aka Johnny Hislop, in 6th position, and Robbie Underwood there in 7th as well. So all our usual players are up the front. And, of course, the hard luck story of the season, the one and only J-Rad down there in 8th at the moment, as we're looking back here with Naeem currently in 3rd position.
Yeah, these guys are absolutely flying out there. We've already got 2 cars in the 46s. I expect a third, as Naeem is currently 1.5 tenths up as he heads towards the Variante, the second chicane, as he takes it nice and deep here. A GTR can eat those curves. If you've not driven this car around here, I will admit it's not the easiest. It's very slidey, but once you figure it out, it's an absolute monster of a car. But he's currently 2 tenths up as he heads through the Lesmo 1, and now he goes through Lesmo 2. Don't want to hit that inside curb. You just want to slightly touch it, go as wide as you can here, as the track limits are very, very generous. He's now currently 3/10 up as he goes down the back straight toward Variante Escari, as he reaches 260, the absolute monster, as he's currently almost 4/10 up on the entry of Escari. In fact, he finds even more times now. He is now 4/10 up, and on the exit, you're going to see the GTR just eat that inside curb like it's not there. It's might as well not have a curb there. It's over half a second up now, Naeem. If he keeps it together, this is going to be a monster of a lap for our Bruneian driver here, as he just has one more corner to manage, and that's the infamous Parabolica, and even then he finds more time. He's 6.5 up, loses a bit on the exit, but he's still over 6 up on the exit. In fact, he finds a bit there, and that's actually gonna be a monster of a lap, and it is a monster of a lap with 146.622, Naeem.
That's a huge lap from Naeem. Mega lap in the GTR, and you just saw, as Tim was beautifully describing there, the way it just absolutely munches through Escari. Like it's not even there. But having a look here at the moment, I've got two sort of things I'm keeping an eye on at the moment as well, because we've got some pretty quick times out there starting to come in as well. Here is another driver. Squirrel's currently in a second position at the moment, and I don't think he's on a lap here, or unless it's ACC doing ACC things. We're not going to trust it until he crosses the line. As we jump inside now, we might go for a lap if we've got time around the famous Monza circuit. And here we go down the main straight, one of the longest main straights in motorsport. You're going to reach maximum velocity of about 275, then you hit the brakes really hard, and I mean really hard, into the first Variante. Clip both sides of the curb. Really important to get a good exit as well. Oh, a little bit oversteer on the exit, but well controlled. Now heading up towards Rogia through Curva Grande. Such iconic names as well. Such a classic circuit. Super fast. Now, really interesting here, because I have seen two different braking styles. Does he do the straight braking then turn? Yes, he does. Lovely through Rogia. Picking up a little bit of time, but not a lot. Now down into the most important corners of the track, the Lesmos. Lesmo 1, really important. Clip the apex and then let it run it out nice and wide. Don't take too much of the exit though. Then once again, tap of the brake into Lesmo 2. Clip that inside curb. Again, use the whole track. Use the escape road. Use everything you can. Maximizing the track width around this track is so important. Now up to the best chicane in the world, Escari. Of course, named after Alberto Escari, probably the most famous early Italian racing driver. Really put Italy motorsport and Italy racing drivers on the map. Absolute legend. As we head down the back straight towards the most fearsome corner on the track, it is the one and only Parabolica, or as it is now known, Alboreto, after, of course, the famous Ferrari driver Michele Alboreto. As it comes through there now. Again, really interesting to lose it on the exit there as well. It's so easy to do in the Bentley, but we're going to get a time here. Well, we'll get some sort of time. It does cross the line with a 46.742 and stays in second position, but good performance so far as is Johnny Hislop, currently in seventh at the moment and top of our silver drivers.
You've really done your research on Monza. You're very knowledgeable as it hits that curb. As you can see, the Porsche, not unlike the GTR, cannot hit that inside curve. That car just did not like that. Good on Hislop to keep it under control there. But yeah, currently sitting seventh with a 47.457. I wonder what Hislop's plan is here. I'm not sure where he's at within the championship order, but I'm pretty sure he's currently leading silver as we're back with Naeem. He's still going down the main straight, still looking for an even faster time. And in fact, he's not fully in the clear there, because only 1/10 behind is Aiden Squires. So perhaps he sees that. Perhaps he doesn't feel quite safe, but doesn't get the optimum exit here out of the first chicane. In fact, he loses up to 2/10 there, as we're now looking at Barker currently going for Escari themselves. Now, I'm very curious how well that Ferrari manages this set of corners. He can hit. Yeah, he completely avoids that inside curb, which makes sense for the Ferrari. It does not like curves at all, another one of those cars. However, it does have insanely good grip in corners, especially these types of high-speed corners. That car just gripped up, and in fact, he finds a bit of time here on entry, but loses it all on exit, unfortunately. And he's not going to improve on this lap, but he's still going to get one more to try and get a better time, but he's currently sitting P5. So I don't think he's too stressed about this one, as we now have Aiden Squires, which looks like perhaps they're abandoning their quality run, or they're just building a gap as they have 20 seconds to cross the start-finish line, and let's see if they can improve. It's going to be a bit tight. It's only 10 seconds to go, but he is going to cross that line just in time for his final flying lap, and let's see what Squires can do here, as we have another driver, Johnny Hislop, currently 2 tenths up. So if he keeps it together, it's going to be good enough for 147.2, which will actually put him up the order a fair bit. I think it's going to put him at least into P5, perhaps P4.
This is a mega lap. Driving probably one of the hardest cars to drive around Monza in terms of extracting lap time. To be up in 5th position, that is a huge lap from Hislop. I've got a feeling that silver badge might change next season as well, just quietly. So back here with Squires at the moment in the Bentley. He's got no real time there. He's still currently absolutely the same lap time. Got a little bit of time there on the exit of Lesmo 1. Now, can he nail Lesmo 2? Really pull. Wow, that is the whole track and some. And that will be that lap time, I think, close to shot. Well, he might be okay. I thought he was going to drop a little bit more time down this back straight, as it is quite a long straight, but he is holding station at the moment. He's only got a 4.12, so there's not much in this. Can we get a full mega clutch lap here from Squires? Runs it right out of Escari. Now the big long run down to Alboreto. How deep do you want to brake? That is the question. 100 metre board, absolutely on the anchors. Turns it in. Really important to get a nice exit. The entry, you can bugger it up, but the exit is crucial. He is finding skerricks of time, but I don't think it's going to be enough. It will keep him in 2nd position, and it does. So it is going to be Naeem from pole. Squires, Babby, Godfrey, and Hislop are your 5, and that is qualifying run and done.
Oh, that was a very, very impressive session. So tight at the front. But you're talking about badges, they need a bit of changing. We have the monstrosity in P4. That is what I'm going to call it. From Brock Godfrey putting that McLaren in P4. So that's a very solid effort for our quote-unquote Pro-Am driver. That's a valiant effort from Brock Godfrey, and closely followed behind him will be...
Why, Ben? Why? Why are you doing this to us?
That was not on this car before, so I think that's an addition to the livery. I don't like it. Just Chuff and Godfrey putting their stuff right in the middle of that pro pack. There's 3 pros in front of him and then 3 pros behind them, so they're right in the middle of this. So that's a very, very solid effort from these 2 drivers. J-Mags currently sitting in what looks to be P7, closely followed by Turcolini, and another good fast entry would be Rob Underwood. Managed to get that BMW up to P9. So that's a very solid effort from Underwood.
I was just going to say, while we are going through the grid here as well, we can do a quick little bit of housekeeping championship-wise as well. So it is Babby leading the way by 180 points. So that looks pretty wrapped up for pro and overall. Mags in 2nd and Barker there in 3rd. It's pretty close. Just having a quick look, it is actually absolutely even between Mags and Barker. So we'll keep an eye on that, 100%. So that's going to be interesting to watch. And Damiano is just off the back. So if those 2 do get into a little bit of issues, they could. Damiano could sweep a podium. As we'll say, Johnny Hislop pretty much got silver wrapped up. He's really comfortable out in front. So he's just really got to circulate and get the job done. In terms of Pro-Am, Mateen, Godfrey, and Rad are your top 3. And just a quick look at the point set. Looks like Mateen should have this wrapped up. But as we know in motorsport, anything can happen, and it normally does. And in terms of the AM Championship, it is Reinhardt leading the way, but we're not including him, of course. So it is Callum Lloyd, who's currently our championship leader in the Audi. Who would have thought? And he is currently Is he racing? I did see his name out there somewhere. So hopefully he can circulate and get that AM championship. Gobby, thoughts? Come on, give me something.
No, that's very exciting. Is Mateen Silver or Pro-Am? I don't quite know what it says. Oh, he is Pro-Am, so he's currently sitting P11 and Godfrey's currently sitting P4. So, like you said, everything could happen. I need to see the point difference. I actually need to get the points up on my other monitor
you do
here.
that, and I'll talk. I will have a chat about Thermaltake. That's right, Thermaltake, our fantastic sponsor, who have been a huge support of the Sprint Series and everything we do here at OOR. They are amazing. And if you are on the market for a PC or maybe some PC gear, they've got sim gear, go check them out. Their website is amazing. Thermaltake.com for all your computing needs. And of course, if you are a OOR Patreon, I believe, 10%. Yeah, get around that. Who doesn't love a cheeky discount, especially coming towards the back end of the year and Black Friday coming up and all those good shopping days. So big thank you to Thermaltake once again for sponsoring the OOR Sprint Series. So here we go, Monza. Standard race at Monza. This will be interesting. I'm not sure here. Look, Naeem, I think it's going to be very hard to beat. He's shown rapid pace, but the times were so close up the front. It really is. It is wide open a little bit. And Godfrey's very much the wild card here. Very much, I wouldn't say out of position. It's no hit to Godfrey at all, but he is a Pro-Am, so he is slightly out of position, but we know the McLaren is mega quick around here. So he is definitely a wild card, but he's also got a championship he's got to keep in the back of his mind as well. So it's going to be some real strategic driving tonight by a few of these drivers. All I know is I can't wait. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, so currently Godfrey, if he stays in P4, he's actually racking up 100 points in the championship, and Mateen, currently being P11, will be racking up 65 points for this race. So if the order stays as it is, I think there is a chance here for Godfrey to actually take that Pro-Am championship from Mateen, but it's extremely close. Currently, their point difference, currently Mateen is sitting at 333 and 334, and Godfrey at 3.
I told you, I warned you.
And Godfrey is sitting at 354. So I think that does include their drop rounds. No, so 334 for Mateen and 305 for Godfrey. My bad. I apologize. So it's only 31 points in between the two of them. So this battle could actually turn to be very interesting. If Godfrey can keep it clean and keep it up front, I think he could. He still has a pretty big chance of getting that Pro-Am championship from Mateen. So let's see how these guys do on the restart. I'll give it away to you.
Here we go, lined up, final round, Thermaltake OOR Sprint Series, split green, Monza, 60 minutes, standard operating procedure, and we are racing as they all fire off down towards the Rettifilio. They're going to go 3 wide, make no mistake about that. We probably get some 4 wide action here. Oh, Squire's just really aggressive there on the defending. Babby's going to fly it up the inside as well. Naeem's lost a couple of positions. He's going to hold on a second, though. Oh, we've got a couple of cars over at the Rettifilio. It's happened early. We knew it. It is standard Monza. Now, we're just seeing, are we going to get a safety car? Doesn't look like we are. Still green flag, so it is still to play for. So head off down towards Roger. And here's Godfrey, currently there. Oh, slight touch there with Mags. Mags going to try and send it around the outside. Godfrey's in no man's land there. And Mags gets that done. Hislop's right behind. Thurkalini's there as well. So it is on at the front. Oh, a bit of contact there in the background. That's standard lap 1 at Monza. Back with Godfrey now, chasing Mags. Oh, a little taily there on the exit. Here we go. Throws it in. He wants to get past Mags. Mags is a bit of a cork in the ocean here. Just struggling a little bit in those early laps in the Bentley, but looks like he's got his head down now. Hopefully he can just calm down a little bit and get into a bit of a rhythm as they flick it into Escari. Oh, look at Godfrey. He is looking super aggressive. Oh, Hislop's gone off. Hislop's had a huge moment. He's just got to keep it straight, though. Oh, nice little bit of Porsche car control there. Only Porsche drivers know how to do that. Back up the front, though, it is Squires leading away from Naeem, Babby, Mags, Godfrey. There's your 5. What a fantastic opening lap here at Monza, but the top 3 are starting to scoot away. So Mags has got to get the head down, but he's run really wide down Alboreto. And now Godfrey's going to try and go up the inside in the McLaren. They're going to go side by side at the temple of speed. This is what racing is all about. How good is this? Oh, Godfrey, he's going to try and fire up the inside of Mags. Oh, pulls it back in. And they will go back and fight again. Wow, what a lap. What an opening lap.
There was so much action there. We do have yellows at the back there. I'm wondering if those are yellows or if they're going to pit lane. But that car looks like, yeah, I think those cars were on the straight. So I'm wondering what's happened there, because that was right next to the start-finish line there. But yeah, that Bentley is just a monster on acceleration. Even when with that mistake from Mags and Godfrey getting what I thought would be the better run, that Bentley just took off on that McLaren. So Mags really using the strength of that Bentley to stay ahead. That was, I wouldn't say the cleanest first lap, but it was definitely exciting as we have another car in the background off the track there. At least I thought I saw a car go into the grass. But as we're now on board with Godfrey, as he's going to try and get chased down by Turcolini. Turcolini, unfortunately, well, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you're looking at it, is in the Porsche, but he's closely following behind that McLaren as we're now looking at Barker in the Milwaukee Ferrari. It's also going to be looking to make some position, but look who's behind Barker. That is Mateen, and that's exactly what Mateen needed. Just a good start, make some positions to get more points in that race. That race is not over between Godfrey and Mateen, so he needs to just stay as far up as possible and get as many points as he can to basically confirm that Pro-Am Championship. And unfortunately for Godfrey, he's gone the other way around and he's actually lost the position for his championship as Name puts in the fastest lap of the race, as we do see a replay, and that is J-Rad. And oh, that was very good car control. He managed to keep it, to bring it back on track even after going onto the grass. So that's kudos to J-Rad, as we do have another, that front end battle really starting to rage now between Squires and Name, and I expect close behind will be, yep, that is the Ford of Glory Babby. This is going to be a very, very interesting three-way battle between the 3 drivers in 3 different machines.
Very much so. Interesting, though, 3 front-rear machines. So all the hot talk was that the mid-rear, especially the McLaren, are uber fast around here, but it is basically 3 boats up front. So that is interesting. Of course, the Monza is a super speed track, so it doesn't surprise me. Back here with Barker in 7th now in the Milwaukee Ferrari as he comes through the first Lesmo. Ooh, just doesn't look comfy there at the moment. Just looks like he's struggling a little bit with exit and a little bit of exit oversteer, and you can just see the attitude of the cars. Just doesn't look very nice to drive, and he's got Mateen all over him now. Back here with Naeem as we go through Escari. Such a, oh, look at that. That's, Jesus. That is taking the PI 55 right there. Did everyone see that? That GTR just went, what curb? Like, is there a curb there? Oh, he had a bit of a look there into Alboreto as well. That was bold to show the nose there. This battle's going to be great.
As we see Babby in the background going a bit too wide. That would have been track limits. That is, these 2 are very slowly starting to pull away from Babby, but if they keep battling the way they are, that might give Babby the opportunity for perhaps a double overtake here, as Squires does have to go defensive against a Naeem there. Naeem just not slowing down in the big GTR, and like you said, it's the battle of the boats up front, and in fact, the P4 as well is another boat. The first non-boat car, as people call him, is Godfrey in the McLaren, and he's not leaving the back end of that Bentley. He's staying right up close to the Bentley of Mags there, so it's not over. It is a long race. There is pit stops in this race, so anything could still happen.
Oh, it's very open, 100%. There's the 3 up front. I think it's going to be a battle between them, but this battle for 4th is going to go all the way, because just lurking there in the background is Damiano who will most likely pick up any scraps if there are any. Oh, look at this, Godfrey. Really aggressive now. That is the international sign of I am quicker than you, get out of the way. And Mag says, that's nice. Oh, we've got a 5-second penalty for Squires. Out of position on lap 1. Oh, that's race-changing stuff. Oh, yeah, dear, oh dear.
It definitely is, especially with the caliber of drivers that are behind him. It's going to be extremely hard for him to build that 5-second gap. In fact, it's going to come over on his pit stop, so he's got at least a 35-second pit stop ahead of him there, and that does not help with his race strategy. So he's good. So as we do get a replay of the start here, and see where he actually goes out of position. I'm wondering where, because he seems to be doing all right there.
Here we
perhaps
there it is. Yeah. See how he's over towards more the inside. Of course, GT3 racing does require you to drive through your pit box. It is marginal, it is, yes, but rules are rules, unfortunately. Look at this 3 wide. We might get a bit of a breakdown here, what actually happened here at lap 1 in the background. So it looks like that's Mateen there. It just looks like a bit of a bottleneck. Standard sort of Monza turn 1 action there. Oh, geez, bit of a concertina effect there in the background. Oh, geez, it got willing there. Elbows out and all. As we are back live with Godfrey currently in 5th.
Yeah, you know what surprises me there? It wasn't even down the straight in the braking zone. That's usually where you get all the chaos at Monza. It's that heavy braking zone before turn 1, because you get such a long run, and then the guy ahead brakes, so usually you have to brake just a teeny-weeny bit earlier, and then the guy behind you has to brake a bit earlier, and then the guy behind him has to brake a bit earlier, and that's why these incidents happen on lap 1 at Monza. But this actually happened in the corner. They tried to go 3 wide on what is a very tight corner, and you want to set up for the exit, and the guy on the inside, unfortunately, he doesn't want that other car in the way. He wants to go as far as possible so he can get the perfect run out of the second straight, because this track is just corner, long straight, another double corner, another long straight. It's constantly that. So the exits are so crucial on this track, and these drivers don't want to give anything up. As we do see Matt going very wide there, and Godfrey still on the rear bumper, but I don't see him being able to do anything with that Bentley's top speed, as we do have a replay of Name drifting in a GTR, what it is known to do, but he does manage to keep it together. But looks like Godfrey here is a bit of a better run than he did before, and he is in fact going to try and go for the overtake, and he does go down the inside. It's very tight, but now Mags is going to get the inside. He's got banging doors. That's just hard racing there, and Mags just manages to stay ahead, but I'm wondering how long he can withstand that pressure from Godfrey. I don't think there was anything wrong there. That's just classic door-to-door banging.
That is absolutely play on for mine. That's proper hard racing. Like, yes, I understand contact, but that was side by side, just 2 drivers not willing to give an inch. And I have no doubt that Godfrey will just be warming up and ready, getting himself wound up for another run here. He will have another crack at this, make no doubt. What that has done, though, is Damiano now is just starting to sail up to the back of these 2. And Damiano, I know the gentleman pretty well. He'll already be thinking about strategy. He'll have in his mind calculations and what he needs to do, where he needs to stop. Where the other driver behind him, Barker, will probably have no calculations whatsoever. He only knows to drive one way, full send.
Yeah, I expect Damiano is seeing this battle up front, and he's just waiting for the perfect opportunity there. He's not getting involved just yet. Well, he is getting involved. You do have a replay of what looks to be J-Rad getting completely rear-ended by a BMW. I wonder who's driving that BMW. I think that was the BMW of Sakanius. So that's going to be a bit of an invoice for that. That name does set another fastest lap. He's currently on a 47.1. That is absolutely flying. Especially on what I assume is about 60 liters of fuel. Now, we might see some interesting strategies here. Might see some drivers go 50-50. I know a couple drivers like to go very long in these races and pit at the very end, and sometimes it does pay off. But at the same time, you've got to be able to preserve your tires very well if you're going to do these long strategies.
Well, I think what helps is that it's a Monza. Monza's not overly hard on the old tyres. We are on board here with Damiano. What's going on here? Godfrey there in the background. Oh, Damiano's had a Porsche moment. Oh, wow. Now, you see on his car, it says Porsche guys. Porsche guy things. Any other driver that isn't a Porsche lover would be in the wall.
That Porsche saw, oh, I saw the Nissan take that line. Surely I can take it. That is not happening. Denied. He's very lucky he's not got launched into the wall, because sometimes if you take it extra bad, that line, it will launch your car into a spin and into the wall, and that will basically be a race over for you. But it looks like we have a change for Nathan right there, and he does hit the wall and he spins, so that is a heartbreak for Amaro Name. But the car goes back around facing the correct way, but I'm wondering how much damage he got from that. I'm wondering what's happened there. Perhaps he was a bit too overconfident on that curve. But that was
We've got to see that from Babby's point of view as well, because that was supremely close. Now, this is Squires here, so they're coming out of the Red Affilio, and they're building up speed as they head up towards Curva Grande. Oh, so there's a bit of indication there. What is going on here? Okay, so that was weird. I'm not sure what's going on there. Back live now with Godfrey and Mags. This battle is still raging on.
So far, this has been the closest battle. Does Godfrey have a bit of damage to the front of his car there? I'm not sure. It looks like the front of that McLaren is a bit damaged, or that might just be my eyes just playing tricks on me. But I don't know if it's maybe the image of the face. Maybe it's the smile. I think it's the smile from the face. I thought he had a
here we go.
bit of a lifted bonnet, but yeah, here we go. We do get a replay of what's happened there, and yeah, he just.
How close was this? How close was? Oh, wow! Code Brown in Babby's pits. Code Brown, please. Code Brown. That was, yeah, that's very close.
I wonder what happened from Nate. The car didn't. I think he might have snapped. He was perhaps a bit overconfident over that curb. Yes, the GTR can take it, but there is still a limit.
Sorry to interrupt. That Mateen. Was that Mateen off in the background now? Just, oh, and Godfrey's really had a moment as well. This race is starting to go off. Oh, that was weird, wasn't it? So it's gone over the curb, which it does every other race, but for some reason it decided to just toboggan. That was very strange.
Confused there. Perhaps a bit of ACC physics things, but perhaps what I'm thinking, he was a bit too overconfident on that curb, and it just bounced up in the air and just launched the car. Yeah, he probably thought, yeah, GTR can take it, but I think every car do have their limits. Just the GTR's limit is a lot higher than all the other cars, so it looked like that car just lifted up on its front wheels. But as we're back into that battle for what is now P3, actually, its name did fall down all the way back to P7 from that incident. He's lucky he's still driving, and in fact, his front end does look quite all right. So. Maybe he didn't hit the wall as hard as I thought he did.
Well, that and the podium's still not out of the shot here. It is Naeem. So this battle's going to tighten right up as well. So we've got Mags, Godfrey, Thurkalani, Barker and Naeem all fighting for third position. Ah, yes. So it is Squires leading the way. He's got a 5-second invoice, and then a second behind is Babby. Then this battle here that we are watching on screen at the moment. And then in 8th is Patine, Underwood and Bishop are your 10 with Saeem and Wafri just outside the 10. Actually having a good run, those two, in the two Ferraris. Just keeping their heads down. Just for those guys also in the chat, I did see as well replays and that. I am watching Ben at work here, and he must have 20 hands because he's going nuts. There's replays everywhere. Here we go. We've got ourselves another one. So that's, who's that? That's Griffiths there in front. I believe that's Sicanius and Hislop just behind. So, oh, a little bit of a touch there, and Griffiths still goes around. Oh, hot knife through butter.
And a bit of argy-bargy there. That replay is still going, so I'm wondering if they've gone a bit wide there, but
Yeah,
looks like they
something's
managed to keep it. It's a bit hectic there. There's a lot of cars trying to go around these very high speed, but also pretty tight corners, but it looks like that's the end of the replay. So thankfully there was no more chaos after that. That already looked chaotic enough in my eyes. But once again, Godfrey trying to make that position. He has the pace, it's just that Bentley is so strong on these corner exit. You can see the Bentley's just flying away. Godfrey will catch him in the corners, but then that Bentley just absolutely takes off space shuttle style. We do have a bit of mistake here from Max, and that's just the opportunity Godfrey needed. But even with the mistake, that Bentley just stays ever so slightly ahead, not giving room to that McLaren. And again, he stays ahead. That Bentley's a bit of a monster.
Oh, that's fair. What a great exchange there. Both drivers giving each other room as well. What we love to see. And as Godfrey does pick up a drive-through, unfortunately. But what a battle this is. You can just see Godfrey, he'd be getting frustrated now. I just got this feeling he'd be getting a little hot under the collar because Mags is driving a beautifully defensive race here at the moment. So here we go. Oh, and again, you can see Godfrey. Oh, look at Barker. Barker's having a bit of a sniff here on Damiano as well. And Naeem's right there in the background. Oh, Barker's going to go try around the outside of Alboreto. No, you can't be doing that. Come on, David, settle down. I'll tell you what, 10 out of 10 for the effort, though.
He did get a bit slighted on the exit, and unfortunately, if you look right behind him, you can't really see the car. And now it shows up, and that is the big GTR of Naeem, and he wants to go back up to the front. He's on a charge right now, and they're going to go side by side. Oh, that's a little bit naughty.
Oh,
in fact.
You can't be doing that. You can't be doing that.
Yeah, Barker did not want to let Naeem through. He wanted to brake as late as he could. Unfortunately, it was a bit too late, but now we have that battle for P3 as they go side by side through this, what I call the second straight, into the second chicane. But look at that Bentley just taking off on that McLaren. I would not be surprised if Godfrey now is getting really frustrated at just the power of the Bentley. To be fair, Max is still driving a fantastic race, doing everything right to stay ahead of the McLaren, and he's not falling under the pressure, although he's having to do small mistakes that were not big enough to give Godfrey the opportunity to get ahead, unfortunately.
What an exchange. What a fantastic bit of defensive driving there from Mags. Here we go, that replay here. So that's staying there. Barker's on the inside here. He just tried to avoid everything, and he does a good job of that. And it looks like Barker's just caught the inside of that curve, and unfortunately, that is all she wrote.
Naeem has to give the position back to Turkalini after that. I'm not sure if he's been told by RD, but I'm not sure if it really matters. I'm sure I'm not saying anything about Turkalini, but Naeem's on an absolute charge here. He's on a different level, but that was a big cheat to get ahead of Turkalini. I don't think he should be ahead, but that's for the stewards to decide as we're back into that battle for P3. That battle's been ongoing for over 10 minutes now. It's 11 minutes into the race at this point, and he's just still going at it. But you see the Bentley, just the gap Mags manages to build on the straight, but he just again loses it all in the corner as we do see these two now go down that second part after the first chicane, and Godfrey does not have the overlap he had last lap. So yeah, I think for these two it's probably going to play out in the pit stops as we do have a battle here for what is P12 after Johnny Hislop's issues on the first lap, and Hislop does get a good exit there. In fact, it does get a very good run, just not good enough to get around Sicanius. They're not going to perhaps go side by side, wondering if Hislop's going to go for a move. Sicanius goes defensive here, and Hislop decides it's not worth it just here. Too tight, and Sicanius, it does not have the overlap over Sicanius, so perhaps he's going to wait another lap. The Porsche is not known for its great top speed, but it's known for its fantastic brakes and its fantastic agility. As again, that battle for P3 still raging, and now we're going to have a very I want to say upset, but I think Naeem is just laughing at this point. He's a funny guy to be around. He's very, very funny. But he's going to start getting involved for that battle for P3. In fact, he probably wants P1 as he now within a second of Godfrey, I imagine. And Godfrey just on the rear bumper of that Bentley. It goes very wide there. Can he get the better exit? And it does not look like it, as that Bentley does pull away on exit here.
So, of course, I am sort of cheering in the background because, as you know, I'm a Pro-Am and us Pro-Am stick together. So I want to see Godfrey on the podium here, but he's just got to be a little bit patient. You can just see the attitude. He's just starting to get a little flustered. You can see there, just putting the car in positions where, it's a bit of a 50-50. So just take a breath. Also, maybe think about your pit stop. Think about, okay, how can I do this? Can I maybe get an undercut? We are 37 minutes down in this race, or 37 minutes to go, I should say, in this race. Got ourselves a replay here. What is going on here? This is normally highly entertaining when there's cars together. That looks all pretty standard. Oh! Spin, round!
You spin me right round, baby, right round. What happened
and
there?
And for everyone else who loves using it, yes, that was a Beyblade, 100%.
What happened there? Looks like that McLaren in the background just... I don't want to say tried to sideswipe the BMW, but it looks like they tried to sideswipe the BMW and caused another McLaren to spin around. That was very, very odd. That was, in fact, very naughty from... whoever was driving that blue McLaren, as we do have an onboard here. Blue McLaren just... That was netcode there. That purple McLaren did not even get touched and he spun. That was definitely a netcode issue, and unfortunately...
Right back to this because Naeem's going to throw it up the inside here at Godfrey, and he gets that done at Alboreto, and now he's going to try and work on the back of Mags. He should have a nice run here down the big long straight. Godfrey might get a tow as well. So, can Naeem get back up to third position after having a bit of a moment at Escari a few laps ago? But we've seen Mags. He's super defensive, really good on the defense. So we've got ourselves back with the replay. This is how it got done. And Naeem just lovely into Alboreto. Beautiful braking. Godfrey did fight it. He had a conversation, but Naeem just got that done. Beautiful move. And now he is off as one of those signboards gets skipped off down to Rome. Now what does Naeem do here? I think he'll just have a bit of a chill for a bit and then see where he's strong and then make the move.
You say chill, but I don't think he's chilling at the moment. He is on an absolute charge, and I wonder how Mags is going to deal with that one, because Mags wants that P3. We both know he wants to hold this position, so he's not going to give it up to Naeem that easily. And we both saw that he's managed to hold Godfrey, which, let's be honest, I think Godfrey just has more pace, but Mags is much better at defending, and he's just managed to stay ahead. But I wonder if he's going to manage to stay ahead of the big fat GTR, as that car does have a bit more horsepower down the straight than a McLaren. But let's see here as they go down the back straight, up over the curve of Escari like it's nothing, and the GTR is... I want to say catching, but it is not catching. They're pretty much equal. It is catching now at the very end of the straight. That GTR does manage to ever so slightly catch that Bentley, but it is not enough for Escari for him to make an overtake. So now it's going to be down the main straight they go. And in fact, I'm wondering if Godfrey is waiting for an opportunity for he himself to get around Mags, because now Naeem might get a bit stuck here, as we've seen what Mags can do. In fact, he's way ahead down the main street. That Bentley is a bit of a monster here, if I say so myself. I've said it multiple times, but even Naeem is struggling to catch it down a straight, and he's in a GTR, so don't know what the British have cooked with the Bentley, but it is definitely cooking here at Monza, as we do have two Bentleys on the podium. You love to see it.
Not really, but anyway, moving on. So this battle is definitely raging on, and Naeem now, you can just tell he's starting to get into GTR mode. That's the I need a kebab at 3 a.m. Get out of the way. Of course, if that was No, I'm not going to go down that path. That's anyway. I was going to go off a tangent then. Wouldn't have ended well. So, because 33 minutes ago, you are watching the Thermaltake OOR Sprint Series split green from Monza. And, of course, big thank you does go to Thermaltake for all your computing needs. Go see thermaltake.com. They've got all the gear, all the fans. They'll keep you cool when the racing gets hot. And, of course, if you are an OOR Patreon, you'll get that cheeky 10% discount as well. But we are back live with this racing because look at this. Naeem is all over the Bentley of Mags here. And Naeem is driving like a man possessed. That is a damaged GTR as well as they head down now in Alboreto. Who's going to be later on the Mags? Mags is going to try and hang it around the outside. There's a little hip and shoulder, a little touch, and then Godfrey's there in the background as well, ready to pick up the scraps. This racing has been fantastic. Oh, I like this strategy here. So Mags is going to stick to one side. He's going to see Godfrey's going to try and get a draft here. Now, what has got... No, don't even think about it, Bradley. Do not even think about it. And Naeem does get it done, though. Lovely move. Oh, bit of a touch. Oh, another little touch. Oh, Naeem's got wide. Godfrey now. There's 3 wide. Oh, wow.
Naeem lost out on that. He's up behind Godfrey again, and now Godfrey is going to look to get out of the Bentley. Max, once again, stays ahead of these two. He's not giving up. He wants that position. He doesn't care if the drivers behind him are much faster than him. He's going to fight with his life to get a podium position here at Monza. But Godfrey does get a good run here. And he looks down the inside, tries to scare Mags. Unfortunately, it does not work against the big Bentley, and Mags stays ahead once more. And again, this battle's almost been raging for what is 30 minutes now, and they're still going.
Unbelievable. I haven't seen defense this good since the 2006 Pittsburgh Steelers. Unbelievable from Mags. Just got the elbows out, full linebacker style. Back Godfrey, look at him. Oh, he's going to go for a movement of Escari. Oh, no. It's happened. It's happened. We said it was building. It was building. And Naeem is going to be the beneficiary. Oh, that will be an interesting replay to watch.
That was bound to happen. You could see Godfrey was getting frustrated over and over, and he saw his run. He saw what he thought to be an opportunity there. Unfortunately, it is not the best place to do that move at Escari. It is very bumpy on that inside, and he just had no room. He tried to make the corner. It just didn't work out, and unfortunately, he lost out the most on that, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does get a bit of an invoice here, as Naeem does go for his one and only pit stop of the race, and
now,
that is a battle over.
Question, if you're Naeem, are you repairing?
He seems to still have very quick pace out there. Although he was in traffic, I don't think he's repairing.
Be interesting, because if he doesn't repair, this race is still on, everyone. Make no mistake, 30 minutes to go with someone of Naeem's skill and pace. This race is well and truly on. So it is Squires leading the way from Babby, Mags, Thurkalini, Barker, who is carrying a 15-second invoice. Underwood, Godfrey, Hislop, and Saeem and Naeem are your 10 at the moment. We've got bang on halfway to go. Of course, we are watching the Thermaltake OOR Sprint Series live from Monza. And I am Sean Muller, and joining me is the one and only Tim McGoeb. And this is the final round, of course, of our Sprint Series. Of course, coming up, we've got a few exciting things in OOR. There's always things happening in OOR. We've got the Kyalami 9-hour in a couple of weeks, which I'm very much looking forward to. But we'll come back to that, because Squires just had a little moment there out of Alboreto. Just a little squirrel in the exit. And Babby goes, double bluff. I'm going to pit. Well, that was not exciting.
Yeah, we're expecting a battle of the boats down the straight, the big Ford and the big Bentley, fighting it out to turn one, but nah, Babby just saw this opportunity. Perhaps now is a good time to pit, and he's going for the undercut on Squires. Now, not sure if it works. I've been told the undercut does not work well here, but if Babby's unlucky, he's going to get caught up in traffic here, and that will give Squires the opportunity to get ahead. But as I say that, Squires does have a 5-second penalty there, so I think Babby will get ahead once Squires does pit, unless he gets completely caught up in traffic.
Well, what's interesting here as well is, from past experience myself, you definitely want to go an overcut here at Monza. Does seem to be the stronger play. And Mag's going to have to get defensive again because now he's got Thermaltake all over him. So we are back here, just here with Andy Bishop at the moment, currently down there in 16th. And he's got Mateen right behind him. Hang on, I did see that in the background. I said Mateen had a moment. Now he's down in 17th. So Gobby, you're going to have to fire up the old calculator, mate, and get into action, because we've got Godfrey in 5th at the moment, and we've got Mateen down in 17th.
As it stands now, Godfrey will get 95 points as in 5th, and Mateen will get only 39 in 17th. However, I think what's happened here is Mateen has done his pit stop, because you can see the little yellow icon, but the one on it is now green. Godfrey has not done his pit stop yet, so we'll have to see once Godfrey exits the pits where he ends up. I'm not even sure if he's still going to be ahead of Mateen after that incident, but it's still possible, because there is 2 McLarens with that livery. So one of them is Mateen, and the other one is, I'm not sure if I think it's Maheswara. Maheswara does run that livery as well. Will
be interesting to see. I definitely saw that McLaren off somewhere, but we'll keep an eye on it. So Babby's paired it out. Now he's in 12th. So our leader's in. Squires is in. So Squires is getting a set of fuel and tyres, Squire. Yes, okay, that was bad, but I've been working on it all season.
So let's see where he ends up as Babby now goes around Parabolica. Excuse me, as he now does his pit stop. Now Babby goes around Parabolica, and let's see where Squires ends up after his pit stop. It's going to be tight as Squires now exits the pits. He's still got a bit to go before the pit, and it's well clear with Babby. Babby does it.
Sorry to interrupt again. Mateen, 5-second penalty for jumping the start on lap 1. Oh boy, this Pro-Am battle has just been turned on its head.
Like now Godfrey is in the pits for his pit stop, so let's see where Godfrey ends up once he does go out the pits. But that 5-second penalty is not going to help Mateen at all for that Pro-Am championship. This battle is really raging. I'm wondering if Godfrey even realizes he's in contention, as we do have a replay here. And it looks like, he's going too fast. I think he completely jumped the start there.
Certainly did.
So...
Oh, look at that. Just above the cheese, Barker and Thermaltake got into it off the start as well. So Mags and Thermaltake now pop into the pit lane to do their service. And it looks like that's Barker there in the background popping in as well. So very important pit stops, these ones.
Now I'm wondering how well this is going to go, because if any of these two mess up their pit stop, specifically Mags, if he goes over that line a tiny bit too much and gets the car pushed back by the mechanics just any bit, we could potentially see Thermaltake jump Mags in the pits. But let's see after they do their stops, as Hislop also goes in the pits. Now, right about now is the time these drivers are going to decide to pits, get a new fresh pair of boots, or 2 pairs of boots technically. They do have 4 tires. As we do see Squires now going around the Parabolica. He is not very close to, well, he's pretty close to Babby, but not as close as he'd like to be. And we do see,
Mags got it done.
Got it done, so he just stays ahead. In fact, looks like they had a pretty equal pit stop here, as this was about the gap they had. And Mags just takes off in the distance and still holds on to what I think is P4, P5. I don't know where he ended up after that battle with Godfrey.
I did see a question there sort of saying, why did Damiano follow him? I mean, my sort of thinking there would be maybe Damiano was only fueled for that stint. So maybe he maybe wanted to run a low lap, but just unfortunately his fuel couldn't go that extra distance. So that would be my thinking, knowing Damiano. He likes to what they call stint drive. He very much stays to his stints and his strategy. So he normally works it out the day before, and he very rarely sort of adjusts from that. So, but still, sixth position. That'll be a fifth position once Busk pops into the pit lane, and still plan to play out with 23 minutes remaining. What a race! It's been a good one, hasn't it?
Go back and talk about that Pro-Am battle once now that these two drivers have done their piss off. So as it sits currently, Godfrey is, where is he? He's P7, so that will give him 85 points, and Mateen currently sitting in P10. P10 will give him 70 points. So as it sits right now, that's if Mateen holds on to P10, Mateen will have that Pro-Am championship in the back, but he does have a 5-second penalty, and very close behind him is Johnny Islop, and what I can only assume is Barker, which I assume he's going to be closing in on these two. So if he does, Mateen could drop down all the way to what is currently P12, which will only give him 60 points actually, and with Godfrey in P7, he will have a 35-point advantage on Mateen, and I think that will be enough for Godfrey to clinch that Pro-Am championship.
So if I'm Godfrey's race engineer, I am literally on the radio right now. Push, push, push. Maximum attack. So put the pressure on Mateen. Force Mateen to catch him. Force Mateen to try and make that 5 seconds up. Put the pressure on. This is go time. This is where you get the biggies.
Mateen currently has a 29-point advantage on Godfrey. So that 5 seconds could decide that championship if he does not put his foot on the pedal and start taking off. But we will see, as currently there's a 25-point difference. It's going to turn to a 30-point difference. So he might... Godfrey does get a 10-second penalty for that incident with Max. So again, this changes everything, as Underwood is only 1 second behind, 3 seconds. They're all so close to each other. So again, I cannot give you an accurate result until this race ends, but as it is now, it looks like Mateen is going to clinch it, but there's still 20 or so minutes of this race to go. We do get a replay here of, I think that is Craig Busk in the white and gold McLaren. Oh, now it's the Beyblade incident again. Oh, wow, he had pretty much a front row seat. There's multiple cars involved there. It looks like the Ferrari of Noah Reinhardt, unfortunately, getting involved as well. It's a bit of a heartbreak.
That's going to take some analysis to work out what happened there. But we are back live. Damiano here, currently in 5th position at the moment. As I've been saying all season, been super impressed with Damiano. The last 2 seasons, actually. He's found something. I don't know where it's come from, but he has definitely found something. And he is consistently running in top 10s now. No problem at all. It's great to see. Stoked for it. Good mate with Damiano. He's a ripper bloke. Back here with Andy Bishop, who's actually got some work to do. So he's got Mateen right behind him, who wants to cover off that 5-second penalty, because he's just seen Godfrey now with a 10-second penalty. So now it's really on. See, the thing is, though, Hislop's not going to fight this. He's got his silver championship in the pocket. He is literally going to sit there and just drive around. Nice Sunday afternoon drive at Monza. Tell you what, sounds like a good idea, actually, to give you the hot tip.
In fact, he's already clinched that championship, I'm pretty sure, as Underwood is currently sitting at 204. His next opponent would have been Ben Oliver. Unfortunately, Ben Oliver is not here, so looks like Rob Underwood is going to get P2 in that championship, but he is what looks to be about... Where is Hislop? He's so far up. Hislop is 170... 160 maths. Let's just say 160 points ahead, because he's that far ahead. Even if Rob Underwood was to win this race and Hislop was to not participate in this race, Hislop will get the championship. So we are current. He doesn't even have to do this race at this point. He's just doing it for fun, or for the overall. He wants to be as far up in the overall as he can for perhaps a seat in the finals, which, to some drivers it does matter. I know to me it matters. But Hislop is our silver champion, so congratulations to him. The only real battle for a championship here currently is that Pro-Am championship between Godfrey and Mateen. The other two championships are pretty much in the bag.
So a bit of context. I've been commentating sim racing for, 7-8 years now? And the first rule is you never do maths on stream. So before we started tonight, I told Gobby, I said, don't do maths on stream. You never do maths on stream. He's now finding out why you don't do maths on stream. When the pressure's on, your brain just turns to mush. I don't know what it is, but for some reason, when you're commentating and you're watching motorsport, you can't maths. He's gone quiet.
Doing my best, okay? We do have a three-way battle here shaping up, and Mateen currently sitting in P9. I don't think he doesn't have to push that hard. He knows if Hislop stays behind, he is going to lose that position. But I'm wondering if these drivers even know how close they are to each other for that for their championships. But he's absolutely pushing. He wants that position from Bishop. He wants to be as far up as he can, and what he needs to do now is basically damage limitate and get as close as he can to Godfrey. Godfrey as well needs to find a way to build that 10-second gap to Underwood so he can at least hold on to P6. As Mateen does go very wide there, wondering if that's going to be enough for Hislop to get a run on him. Unfortunately, Hislop being in the Porsche, not the greatest car on stage, but all he needs is a bit of overlap. And we both know the McLaren's brakes aren't the greatest. The Porsche's brakes are the polar opposite of that. They are fantastic brakes, but it's not going to be enough this lap for Hislop to just get alongside to beat him in the braking zone. So he's going to have to find one more lap to do it. But like we both said, he's not even putting the pressure. He just wants to finish this race and get it over with, basically.
Oh, that's it. He should be enjoying himself because he's in the best sandwich of all, the pork sandwich. So he should be very happy where he is currently in ninth, doing a nice job. So, Heck, just to answer your question, English is hard for me 24/7, mate. Just giving you the hot tip there. There's no good English with me. So, how good is that shot? It's one of my absolute favourite shots in this game. That shot where you come through Lesmo 1 and the sun's bursting through the trees. So pretty, so pretty. But we've got 15 minutes remaining. We're, of course, watching the Thermaltake OOR Sprint Series. This is Split Green live from the Autodromo di Monza in beautiful Italy. Absolutely gorgeous part of the world. Beautiful racetrack, beautiful food, beautiful people. It's just that's going to come with an invoice for sure. As Hislop now has actually got a run here on Mateen. So Hislop's going to have a bit of a go here down at Alboreto, I reckon. We know that Porsche is going to easily outbrake that McLaren. Mateen says, no grip.
There, and they're going
there
to
is
go
no
too wide
grip
once
out
again.
there. That's interesting. I thought Mateen would really lose a lot more pace there, but he actually kept the boot in it. They're going to go side by side down the straight now. So head off towards the Rettifilio for this upteenth time. Who's going to be later on the brakes? Who's going to brake nice and straight and get that nose tucked in? Mateen is absolutely hanging it out here. This is a red-hot fight from Mateen, but I think Hislop's got it done finally. He's head off down towards Curva Grande. And he has got it done, but geez, didn't Mateen put up a ripping fight?
That was, again, fantastic racing from these two, keeping it tight, giving each other just enough room to make it around, but also at the same time keeping it fair, not pushing each other off. They know both their cars can fit there, and Mateen could have very easily pushed that Porsche off if he wanted to, but they're both respecting each other, and that's what we aim to do here when we race at OR, fair, clean racing, and that's exactly what we witnessed just then.
Certainly was. We're back here with Andy Bishop, currently in 8th position. Nice job. Nice, solid position there. You're taking 8th, definitely. I've always said we always said, I'm banging on about every race, top 10 in a sprint series is a good day out. So it is Babby leading the way, 5.9 seconds to the good from Squires. Naeem there in third. It looks like your podium's pretty comfortable there at the moment. Mags and Circolini, who we're watching on screen at the moment, is a ripping battle here for fourth. Might stick with this a little bit before we do a rundown of the order, because Mags is just looking like he's struggling a touch. It's not a lot, but Circolini is right there. The thing is, though, with that Porsche, especially at Monza, it is just so painful. Because as soon as you get to here, you've got nothing. You've absolutely got nothing to fight with. And then you have to push even harder in the braking zones to try and make up that time, and inevitably, in a Porsche, that normally leads to Porsche things. So it's a frustrating drive being stuck behind a faster car in a Porsche, but Damiano's doing a ripping job here for top 5. Take that any day of the week, and still 12 minutes remaining. We'll keep an eye on that, because I don't reckon this one's over.
Yeah, as we always said, you don't know what's going to happen until the race is actually over, and anything could still happen. We've already seen drama up front between Mags and Godfrey, and it could well again happen again, as we're now on board with Andy Bishop, and he's caught the back end of the BMW. That BMW is sliding a lot. I think Rob Underwood is perhaps pushing that BMW a bit too hard, trying to keep up with Godfrey. He sees Godfrey as the 10-second penalty, and he just wants to stay as close as he can, but now we're going to see a battle between these two. In fact, that's going to slow both of them down, and it's just going to give Godfrey that extra bit of leeway to get ahead. He does currently have a 7-second gap to Rob Underwood, and he has 12 minutes to make an extra 3 seconds to clear up basically his 10-second penalty, and that's exactly what Godfrey needs to be doing now.
Apparently. So, we'll keep this battle here, because I just found a couple of interesting facts, I thought, because I know Gobby likes a good fact, but Damiano! Oh, he's just got full Porsche Zen mode! Oh, that was, I tell you what, that is 10 out of 10 for a referee. He had a red hot crack then. Unfortunately, just couldn't pull it up, but when he sent it, I thought, he might hold on to this, but unfortunately couldn't pull it up, but he'll have another go, I reckon. Back here with Andy Bishop, who's got Hislop all over him. Hislop just loses a little bit there on the exit of the Rettifilio, and unfortunately that is just going to kill all his momentum through Curva Grande and down into Rogier. So, interesting couple of facts here. So, did you know that in the area of Monza in Italy, there's actually a town called Lesmo? There you go.
Oh.
So it's just north of the Monza circuit. It's near Pellegrino and Cervicchio and Greppi and Brante. And then if you go down a little bit, that's the actual area of Monza. A couple of famous hotels there, called the Villa Tosata and the Camarera Acerorio. And there's also a Pizza Hut Monza. That's right, not Pizza Hut, Pizza Hut Monza. So there you go.
You know, all these hotels you just said, they just sound very expensive, and I heard my wallet cry.
Well, actually, I've got that up here as well. Average price for a hotel in the Monza region is around $150 per night.
You know, that's not terrible. I'll take it. If it means I can stay close to Monza and enjoy the sound of these GT cars driving around. Not F1. I'm not a big fan of the F1 V6s I'm not a fan of the new F1 engines, but these GT cars still sound absolutely fantastic. Especially these Porsches. Especially if it's like an unrestricted. We got a bit of contact, and Bishop and Hislop, and that's going to give him a team 3 positions, actually, and that's exactly what he needs. And I expect an invoice there. What's happened there?
That was very strange. That was on the straight. So that contact happened before they even got into the Rettifilio. So let's have a look here. So Hislop pulls out to the outside. He's going to try and do the old outside-inside move. Now, Bishop's positioned in a weird spot here, right in the middle of the track. He does move across. Oh, that's not normally... Oh, that will not do the steward's sense of humour any good whatsoever. That is normally pretty frowned upon, unfortunately.
Yeah, he was cutting across the track. Wondering if he realized he was cutting across the track. But yeah, he was cutting across. Hislop had the right to be there. He had the overlap. He was side by side. Hislop did absolutely nothing wrong there. I don't think Bishop would realize that Hislop was that close, and under braking, they ended up colliding, and unfortunately, that's going to cost Bishop what I assume is a pretty severe penalty coming his way.
Let's have a look
get
here.
a replay from the onboard of Hislop. Yeah, Hislop has no room. He's on the very outside of the track. There's nowhere else he can go there. That is unfortunate, and he's unfortunately lost out the most out of that battle.
It is unfortunate, but them's the rules. And last time I checked, in any sport, you will never overturn a referee's decision. Even though I tried many years in footy when I played, many times I tried. I got suspended a few times for trying, but they don't change their mind, umpires. Back here with Robbie Underwood, it was pretty much the unfortunate sort of victim in all of that as well. So he was just sort of going about his own business and got caught up in all that, which was unfortunate. Currently running in 8th position at the moment. Which might improve as well with a couple of penalties sitting up in front of him. And there is a drive-through for Andy Bishop. So that is a fairly significant stick there for Bishop. So that will definitely drop him out on the order. And that will bring Barker back into the 10 now. And Islop and maybe Griffiths as well might pop in there for a cheeky top 10, which would be great for her. So where are we at? We are at 6 minutes 50 remaining. Oh, Damiano's just had a huge Porsche moment. And once again, he keeps it out of the wall. That's what you get when you're a 3-time Club 50 champion. Those are many years of honing those skills of Porsche driving. Look at this. See, look, didn't even panic. That is a Porsche driver.
He's doing a fantastic job, and congratulations on the Club 50 win. He's absolutely rocket, and that shows people that it doesn't matter the age when you're driving. If you've got the skills, you can still fight it up front. And Damiano here is just showing us a masterclass in that. He's just driving fantastically. He's not letting age be a barrier. All these drivers ahead of him, so much younger, yet he still keeps up with them just to let them know that I may be older, but that does not mean I will not fight you for a position.
Exactly. He's still got a bit of the, well, as we say, the bit of the old fight left in the dog yet. Don't you worry about that. Damiano is not going anywhere, and he'll be one to watch at Kyle Lamy. The Porsche goes okay at the Lamy. So very interesting to see how they truck along in the Porsche guys team. Back here with Robbie Underwood with that epic shot. God, that is such a good shot. And just having a look here, we know Barker's modus operandi as well. Barker only knows one way. And here we go. Yep, shows the nose. That's the Barker move number 1. Number 2 will be the double show the nose. Yep, show the nose again. There we go. Yep. And then number 3 will be the big, I'm going to put my nose here and then pull it back.
Unfortunately, number 3, I don't think he's quite close enough for number 3, but as I say that, he does get a pretty big slipstream from the BMW, and he's not close enough. So number 3 did not happen, but it seems like you know him pretty well.
I've been watching Barker race for a long time. I've called quite a few of his races. Actually, one of my favourite drivers to call, because this is the way he races. He just only knows one way to race. There's no conservative, and as you can see right here, no one else would try to go around the outside of Alboreto, but David Barker, yeah, no worries, let's go.
A good old switcheroo as Underwood does go very deep there. Now they're side by side. And very good move from Barker. That's a fantastic move. Taking the words out of my mouth. That was absolutely beautiful. As you're talking about it, he does exactly what you're saying, and he just get the move done, and that puts him up to P8 now.
does put him up to P8, and I'm just going to wait for the timing board to just do its thing, because that could be a net P7 based on what I'm seeing on my screen at the moment. Yeah, it's probably going to make a liar out of me, as it always does. Yep, there it goes. Thank you. So back here with Eric J. Currently in 16th position. He's got J-Rad right behind him. Currently in 17th, and they're battling it out as they head down the main straight now. And the beautifully presented Castrol Mustang as J-Rad goes for a send at the Retafilio. Oh, that is super close racing, but J-Rad's run out of road. And Jay goes, thank you, I'll hold on to that position. Good exchange.
I thought that was, again, good battling. Unfortunately, J-Rad does go a bit wide there onto the center. That sand just ruins that exit onto that. I like to call it a straight, but it's not straight at all. It's a massive, massive curve.
No, Curva Grande.
Curva Grande. Thank you. As you can see, I'm not a Monza fan at all. I absolutely detest the track.
Right.
I like the heritage behind it. I think that's fantastic racing that goes on here. I just have a massive skill issue here, and that makes me detest it. So
anyone else is watching, will make sure you tag Gobby in a Franco Cozzo ad, and you'll learn to speak the good old Australian. Oh, that's a big send there from Rad. Oh, wow, that was full-blown. Yep, that was fisticuffs Liverpool style. That will be coming with an invoice, I have no doubt. Here we go, replay of a send. So how far back? Oh, wow. It looks like he just got maybe blinded a little bit by his braking marker. I'm not too sure what happened there, but that was wowee.
Wondering if Jay braked a bit too early there. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what brake marker he uses. I've got a big sign where once I reach that sign, I slightly cross it. That's where I brake. But I'm wondering if Jay actually braked a bit too early, but I don't think he did. I think J-Rad completely got carried away and fortunately rear-ended him there. But we just can't relax this race, Sean. It's just action everywhere. That's one thing Monza does bring. It's a lot of action, as we can see here. These guys just battling, and it does not help that it's the last race of the season as well as the last chance for glory for this season, at least for these drivers.
Certainly is. Last chance to make a name, or maybe if you're pushing for a Kyle Army drive, or you've got everyone races for different reasons. Everyone's got different motivations, but really, we started the season with a pretty comprehensive performance from Barry, and it looks like we are going to finish the season with a pretty comprehensive performance from Barry. That is why he is going to be the champion. We've got ourselves a bit of a Dynaco replay here. I've always wanted to say that. Oh,
that is grass.
Yeah, that is grass.
You don't want to be doing that, Noah. Luckily for him, he does not hit the wall and gets back on track, and he's very lucky to not actually get a penalty for that. So perhaps he's been keeping it on track this whole time, and he's just managed to avoid himself a drive-through penalty. We do get J-Rad get a 10-second penalty for that unfortunate collision with Jay, so that does not help him at all.
But guess what? It's the final lap. It is about to be over as Babby comes through Alboreto for the final time. He is going to win this championship. He has been easily the benchmark all season. Congratulations, Babby. That is a fantastic drive and season. Second position will be Squires. Good drive. And then third will be someone. Yep, we're waiting. We're just going to sit here, wait around. Yeah. Oh, Dane, there he is. And Dane will finish in third. Hard light. What could have been for Naeem? In fourth position will be Mags, and my driver of the day is Jacob Mags. That is some of the best defensive driving I've seen in a long time. Great drive. Damiano here will finish in fifth position. And in sixth will be Godfrey, who will unfortunately just miss out on that Pro-Am championship, because the bloke that is finishing right behind him, Martin, will take out your Pro-Am champion or championship. And then it will be the one and only Johnny Hislop that will be your silver class champion. And then in AM class, it will be Callum Lloyd. Oh, hey, we'll have to come back to the AM class championship. There's probably a few things we need to work out in terms of who raced and where they are in points and that. But can confirm that Glory Babby is your overall split green Thermaltake OOR Sprint Series champion for season 22, I think, or something like that. But congratulations, baby. Great drive. Just really great performance.
Is Noah Reinhardt still AM, or has he been moved up to Pro-Am?
It's AM on my point scoring sheet.
It's AM on my point scoring as well, and he's well clear of Callum Lloyd. So I'm pretty sure Noah Reinhardt does get that AM championship. That's if he's still AM. I'm not sure if our race organizers here have decided to bump him up, but if he's still AM, which it shows in race as well, he's still got the red badge, he is our AM winner. So,
well, apologies. Well done, Mr. Reinhardt. But Callum Lloyd still finishes in second by the looks of it, so the Audi does get on the podium. There you go, Saxon. Sometimes miracles happen. So, what a season. Been a good one. You enjoyed it?
That was a very, very good season. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this last race. I enjoyed all the races here, actually. But I'm wondering, I need to see that points table, because there was a lot of cars that crossed behind Mateen. I just need to see. I think he has it, but I will not say anything until I see that that overall board.
There we go. So
as we do have it now. So
yeah.
So Mateen does sit in P9.
So it is Babby from Squire, Zame, Mags, and Thurcolini are your 5. So we'll move across to silver class. Robbie Underwood will take it from Jody Hislop and Busk in third. In Pro-Am, it is Godfrey from Mateen and Griffiths. Then across in AM class, it is Reinhardt from Azulu and Mashawera. Wow, there we go. So that is a split green Thermaltake OOR Sprint Series run and done. So a couple of quick thank yous before we do sign off for the evening. So a huge thank you does go to our amazing stewards. You guys are legends. We cannot go racing without you. So a huge thank you. A massive, huge, ginormous round of applause in chat as well, please, for the one and only Benjamin Hignett, who does bring us all these magnificent pictures that you see. It really is a high-class operation in here now. I'm giving you the hot tip. So big thank you does go to Ben. I will see you on track at Kyalami, good sir. Looking forward to having a race with you. Big thanks also goes to the one and only Tim Gobe. It's been fun, mate. I've enjoyed this season in the box with you, so keen to do another one. I'll give you final thoughts and then we'll wrap her up, I reckon.
Thanks to you, Muller. I know you've not been able to be in the box every race this season, but that's fantastic fun commentating with you. I really, really enjoyed that, and I'm hoping in the future, next seasons perhaps, we can do it all over again.
Very much so. Looking forward to that. And of course, two more big thank yous. One's a thank you, one's a shout out. Big thank you, of course, goes to Thermaltake. They've been huge supporters of us all season. It's really great to have them on board as well. There's some exciting things coming in the future as well, so stick around. And of course, we do have Kyalami, the 9 hour coming up. But of course, before that, we got Split Red tomorrow. And of course, the GT4s and the Porsche Cups, they'll go around. Where are they going around tomorrow? Watkins Glen, that's right. So that will be a lot of fun. But other than that, the final shout out is just a bit of a personal one. Malik, if you are watching, mate, or if you do catch this later in the day, mate, keep fighting, all right, buddy? We bloody miss you. But other than that, I'm Sean. I'm going to sign off for now. And as always, you've been watching OOR.